Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Today, I'm going to be playing some Bravo. As I'm sure you guys have heard me mention many times in the past few weeks that, you know, Bravo and Fire are the two decks that I'm really looking to like test for ProQuest season. And I found a Bravo list that I really like. You can hit ! deck anytime during the stream to find that deck list. And I've been playing it. I've been having some pretty good results with it. It's a more aggressive Bravo style deck that I'm playing some defense reactions of in the side. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really up for the whole like heavy fatigue Bravo idea. Like I tried it one night and it's fine. But that's really all I can say about it is that it's fine. Like I don't think it's great. I don't think it's like, you know, gonna be top tier or anything like that. So I don't know. I think it's fine. So I've been playing a more aggressive style of Bravo, which I think favors more into the Lexi matchup, you know, like Fi, other aggro decks. And I think a more aggressive style Bravo deck does have a better shot into the Pivot Dash people that you'll see. Not that Pivot Dash is like a huge deck or anything, but it is something that's played enough to make me think that you need some help into it. Pay two red, discard card. Borvo, give bonk. That's right. Borvo, give bonk. I love it, dude. I love it. All right. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into some games here. I've already got our list queued up here, and I've got some sideboard matchups here, but I'm not really playing by those because I've taken this list and I've just kind of like changed some of the things that I've been doing. So the sideboard options aren't really up to date. I haven't really changed them or done anything with them. So, but I'm really curious to know. So like we're playing like this, like the 60 card main deck, which is kind of like, it's just a very well balanced Bravo main deck. And then in the sideboard, we have Staunches, Sinks, Fates, and one Remembrance. That's really for like Dromai, so we can shuffle Paupers back in and stuff like that. So, oh. Hey, Bim, what's going on? How was your day? It was good, man. It was good. How was your day, buddy? One of the cards that I've been thinking about trying to slot into Bravo is I've been thinking to myself, is it necessary? Is it necessary to have Sigil of Solace somewhere in my deck? And I'm going to be honest, I don't really know. I don't really know where you'd fit it in or what it does. Like, it's a good card, and like I know that like it helps in certain matchups, but I just don't think that it's like necessary to play Bravo like effectively. So, all right. So I think we're looking at a Nothos in this matchup. We're looking at Crown of Providence. We want all of our equipment this way. I don't really think we want any of our defense reactions here. We're probably just looking at trying to play as aggro as we can. Like they could be playing Combo Bolton. I'm honestly not sure. Like it's tough to say. Good. Don't forget to say bravo after every win with this deck. Dude, I was just thinking about that earlier. That is like instilled into my brain after you were saying it the other day. Snapdragons is pretty common in this deck. Your next sword attack gets when this hits, create a courage token. I wonder if they're playing like a whole bunch of like buffs and stuff. So let's just go ahead and block 6 here. Like, if they have a 0 for 3 in their hand, they'll probably play it here just because, I was like the 0 for 3 just kind of like, it just like allows them to like get the on hit draw effect. They get a courage token and a card to still arsenal out of it. So it seems pretty good. Let's go ahead and make a surge. This turn's pretty good. We get to have a 6-point turn here, or no, I'm sorry, an 11-point turn here. Now, we don't really have any on hit effects here, but this is an 11-point turn. And going second with an 11-point turn, you know, is nothing to slouch at. If you're playing into Bravo, Bravo can play offense and just try to run you over in certain situations. We're going to Arsenal the Starstruck here. Interesting. Interesting that they block 6. I wonder if that means they're going to block 6 here. We're gonna Arsenal the Starstruck here and try to activate Bravo, and just kind of like try to like get in the red zone with the Starstruck here. The more times we dominate, the earlier they're going to be forced to give us equipment. So make a surge, throw Zealous Belting, and then throw Chokeslam is a better line than just throwing the Starstruck here. It allows us to have another go again turn, and this is a 13-point turn versus an 11-point turn. And the Chokeslam effect can actually be relevant if they're looking to try and if they're looking to like try and like pump up the jam here. So Rut-row, Raggy. They could have just undone their block. I don't know why they undid there. That was kind of weird. Maybe they passed. Doesn't look like they did, but I don't know. And then Chokeslam. Now, they don't have to block a ton to be able to, like, you know, stop the crush effect here. I'm just more interested in having, like, a lot of turns where I'm pushing as much damage as I can. The more pressure we're putting on our opponent, the better. The Bravo can be a very defensive deck and can play like very defensively and like swap towards the fatigue plan. Like you can pivot pretty easily. But like Bravo can swap to the fatigue plan pretty quickly, but I mean, we're not really on the fatigue plan here. Like, we didn't even bring in our 0 for 4s. Oh my gosh. I love it when a plan comes together. Woo! Woo! He's going to give it a go again. Now he's going to come in. Okay, so he's going to hit us twice. So this is going to be a 10-point swing here in total, which is fine. Yep, that's fine. I mean, he had a pretty good turn here with the Lumina, but our turn's also pretty good. Because we had a surge, we can make a surge and still have two... whoa. Oh, I activated Bravo. That's not what I wanted to do. I do that sometimes on accident. I'll, like, activate Bravo when I don't mean to. And it's just like not what I'm going for here. I could dominate this if I wanted to. I don't really think that dominating this is correct. I think that like we have the pummel turn here now. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like let's get in there. We did have to go to 29, and so we took 8 and allowed. Well, I guess we took 11 really, and we allowed our opponent. We allowed our opponent to gain 2 life off of that exchange. They decided that they were going to block with 3 cards, and if I had the pummel, then I had the pummel, and if not, they were going to take their turn, whatever that might look like. It was a pretty good decision by my opponent. So this is definitely Rouse Anothos. 13-point turn, Arsenal Spinal Crush. We could also dominate Spinal, but it's 1 card from hand, and then Soulbound Resolve to block 6, and then take 3. So I definitely think we're in a better spot if we reveal these 2 cards. If this was again another Chokeslam, we could throw 7 and then 8, which would be a 15-point turn, which is insane. But beggars can't be choosers, right? That's what they say. Who'd be saying that? Me. Oh, I watch too much TikTok, guys. I like that cat, Ben. I like that cat. Hanging out in the box. Cats like boxes. Cats also like backpacks for whatever reason. Taryn has been hanging out in my backpack like a lot lately, and I don't know why or what's going on there. This will probably be an equipment hand. I'm kind of afraid of what they might have here just because it's like I'm kind of afraid of what they might have here, but how do they keep getting Quicken tokens? Is it something he's charging? Ah, the Banneret of Gallantry gives a Quicken token. Okay. You could just put a hammock on that back wall for Taryn. I mean, dude, if she would, like... Ben, you might be onto something. I might do that, dude. I might do that. I might, like, brother. I might actually just do that. That actually seems kind of cool. So we're up 3 points. We're just gonna activate Borvo here and go Borvo. Activate Bravo and come in with the Crippling Crush here. 11 Dominate, I mean, can definitely be blocked. My opponent has like Soul Shields and Sinks and stuff like that, so it's not like this is like just gonna guarantee to like hit by any means. Like, but we're putting some good pressure on our opponent. Hopefully we can get Crown and the Soulbound Resolve here. Wow, my opponent went to 9. Okay. Confused face. I guess let's just do this. Let's just crown away our Crippling Crush here. I don't really know if they're gonna like snap or like, I guess they don't have to snap. They can use Bolton's ability here, but I'm definitely gonna crown away my Spinal Crush. That's not bad. I mean, we get to make a Surge, swing 5, and then swing Command and Conquer, which is pretty good. We probably need to block 5 here. Like, there's 2 pummels left in our deck, so we could just hang on for another pummel here. Let's block 5. Yeah, that's fine. And then, I mean, I could give Command and Conquer and Crater Fist here to just stop all value from this turn for them, and then just come in for 11. Like, it's not a bad turn for us. Like, pretty good turn cycle. Like, we blocked 10 on their turn, which really was blocking 12, and then we're going to come in for 11 when we're already up 12 points. Yeah, but Ben, I wasn't lying. I do really like your idea of just putting a hammock back there for Terran. I think Terran could get pretty used to chilling back there and just kind of hanging out. Terran would probably like to hang up on the wall behind me in the stream. Plus, if we like put it in this corner or something, I wouldn't even need a Terran cam. She'd just be hanging out all the time. Yeah, I'm just gonna take 4 here. That's fine. I go to 17, and then again, okay. Or I guess I'm gonna take 7. So take 4, and then take 3, or I'm sorry, take 4. Oh, the Courage token. Okay, so they block 6 and had an 18-point turn, which is 14, and then I get to have a 13-point turn when our opponent's at 4. Which means our opponent's gonna have to start playing. They're gonna have to start blocking here. Like they're gonna have to start giving us equipment here. Like, they don't really have an option at this point. Like, this is gonna be a pretty solid turn cycle from us. So after this, since we have the Surge, I'm just going to throw Debilitate because I don't have Crown of Providence. I'm not really interested in arsenaling either my Thunderquake or my Debilitate here. But I do think there is some value in this for us to be able to throw the Debilitate, because if they decide to block 3, like the Crush effect kills them, obviously, but throwing Debilitate here is better because it's a 6 points. It's 6 points with a relevant on hit effect. Now our opponent's going to charge their last card into their soul, probably. No, they're just going to take 1. Okay, I guess they decided they'd rather take some damage there. Yep, let's pitch 2 cards, come in with a Debilitate here. Now, if our opponent's smart, this very clearly represents Pummel, but this also kind of looks like... I was like, but this also kind of just looks like... Like, let's go for it here. They probably have a Soul Shield, if I had to guess, just based off the way they're playing. There's no way that I had 2 resources in hand, and they just decided to block 4. Okay, so they have a Sink Below. They did put a card on the bottom, and then they go to 1. Okay, so they decided if I had the Pummel that they would just go to 1. My opponent did not charge a card again. I mean, like, I don't really understand. Pummel just kind of like taking cards out of their hand there. And then our opponent just concedes. I mean, like, we were well ahead. We were winning that game. Like, we had 40 cards in our deck. They had 25. We were at 13, and we still had 3 points of equipment left. We also hadn't played any of our Terra Sunders, which I think puts us in a very good position. So... Boltyn, not really the deck that, like, you know, most people are, like, worried about going into ProQuest season, but pretty good win to start the stream with either way. Feels pretty good to start off with a W. Let's get a W to start. Like, that's one of those, like, funny things that, like, I don't know, like some people talk about this and some people don't, is that I feel like it's actually very good to, like, start off with a W, like, at a big tournament like that. Like, if you're playing at a big tournament and you just start off with a W, it just automatically makes you feel better. Like, even if it's, like, kind of a gimme for you, it's always kind of nice to just, like, start with a W and, like, just kind of, like, feel like you're, like, really starting in the driver's seat. Yeah, we'll just play the 66 card special into our opponent here. I could honestly just make a Surge and play Warmonger's Diplomacy here to give myself tempo. It's honestly not a bad play. And then I can Arsenal my Pummel, which is actually kind of cool. So setting ourselves up to, like, really, like, just not get blown out by an early, like, big pump dominate hand. And we draw the Pummel, the Command and Conquer to go with our Pummel, immediately being rewarded for making the correct decisions. Interesting, they're on Death Dealer against us. If I was playing into Bravo as Azalea, I would definitely be on Dreadbore if it was on my list. I don't know, like... Let's just go ahead and block the Boltyn shot. Like, I was like, I know that's all they're doing. So, Surge goes off. Oh, I can't do that, can I? That's right. Because of my, Warmonger's Diplomacy. So, man, Warmonger's Diplomacy is, like, that card I haven't bought yet, and I don't want to. Like, Warmonger's Diplomacy is a very solid card. It is not a $35 card, in my opinion. That card is $20, 25 max. Like, I'm seeing people, like, people are selling it for $35 on TCG Player. Like, Star City Games has them for $45. It's absolute insanity to me. I'm not paying that for that card. The card's not a $35, $45 card. Like, and I don't care what people say. It's a great card, and it is unbelievable. But I also thought it was ridiculous when This Rounds on Me became an outrageous card. Like, This Rounds on Me went up to like $30, and I thought that was ridiculous too. Was absolutely no reason for that card to ever be that expensive, so... Oh boy. Okay. What did they get? They got Boltyn Shot. So it's Boltyn Shot for 10. So I can block 10 here and just pass. I could take 3, go to 36, and then throw a Command and Conquer at them. Now, the Command and Conquer is for 5, and honestly, the thing that like a lot of people haven't really talked about in a long time is that a card in Perch Grapplers is very good in the Command and Conquer. So I honestly think it's correct just to block 10. We get to stop the Heat Seeker, or not the Heat Seeker, Lord, the Seek and Destroy effect. And we're getting to keep life total as high as possible here. Also interesting that they have 6 more cards than us in their deck. They are clearly playing very strongly into the concept that they do not want to get fatigued by us. Which, you know, honestly, like, I respect. Like, this is a bad matchup for them, so... Yep. Yep. I'm going to take 4 here. And if they throw the Bolton shot at me, I'm probably going to take that and just dominate my Crippling Crush here. Like, Crippling Crush just looking really good. Plus, the longer we can hold out for one of our other 2 pummels for our Command and Conquer, the better that'll be. So, is it me? Am I lagging? No, it's my opponent. They haven't refreshed yet. Curly and I had Chick-fil-A for dinner. So if I let this hit, it turns into a 3-arrow turn. If I don't let it hit, they have to have Codex to be able to play something else. So the smart thing to do here, like the easiest smart thing to do here is just to give Chokeslam. It's to give Chokeslam and Thunderquake and Iron Rot legs, and then hope they don't have a Rain Razors, and then throw the Command and Conquer. Or I can just like live by the seat of my pants because I'm streaming and I'm all about living on the edge. All right, I get a Frailty token, which doesn't affect me because I'm getting ready to dominate this Crippling Crush. They're obviously going to reload whatever arrow they want to play. Dude, what is going on with the lag right now? Dude, seriously? Did Talishar just crash? Okay, we're back. Okay, so I have 2 frailties. I'm about to have a 3rd frailty. Again, the frailty does not matter. We're just going to dominate a Crippling Crush. If I'd had a Surge, I probably would have considered on the first Bolton shot giving a 3-block and like Still Braid and Tech Plating just to be able to like try, like force them to have a Rain Razors there, so that I can try to stop their turn a little bit. They give me 3 frailty tokens that turn. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm curious to know if they'll just go to 19 and just discard 2 cards and just try to keep their hand, or if they think that their life total is important enough here to like give me a card, because they can't stop this. I mean, like, so if they like, they have Sink Belows in their deck. So I mean, I guess if they pondered into a Sink Below, they can go a 3-block from hand, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9 with the grapplers and take 2. That would be an absolute blowout for me, because it means I took, gosh, what did I take that turn? I took an 18-point turn. I took 18 to throw 11 back with an on-hit effect, so I mean, I guess I really took 18 to throw 17 because it's 11 and 2 cards. And 11 and 2 cards is really like each card's worth 3 on average, so it turns into 17 points. Like on average, obviously, like those numbers sway a little bit depending on like what's happening, but and your sister and your dog. Like, I don't... Is my opponent, like... What's going on? Okay, so it was me that was lagging. I guess they just decided to go to 19 here. My opponent goes to 19, and they're playing off of a 3-card hand, like, which I don't think is like a horrible way to play this turn. It's probably their best bet. We got a blue and a red, so I mean, like, it's hard to say what that could mean here. Let's go Thunderquake, Chokeslam. Okay, Bracers of Belief. Oh, they didn't have an arrow. They were looking for an arrow. Oh my gosh. We're living on a prayer. Oh my god. What a win. What a win for us. Man, you love to see it. It's that streamer privilege. That streamer privilege coming through. Normally it only matters when I'm playing Fortnite, but tonight it matters when we're playing cards. This is 10, and they said no blocks. I was like, interesting, because this is a card that's actually super relevant in this matchup. This card is like more hurtful than Chokeslam. Red Chokeslam is insane in this matchup, by the way. Like, if you are a Bravo player and you're playing into Azalea, Chokeslam, masterpiece. Absolutely insane. You love to see it. Okay, so, I mean, this hand could just be block 10 off the staunch here. Because they're obviously going to try and dominate something. They played their +3 effect, I'm pretty sure. No? Oh, they activated Azalea? And now they're going to pass their turn? What is happening? I'm just going to throw the Command and Conquer. Let's just threaten Pummel. Now, I've probably hesitated so much that they don't think I have it. But I'm just going to throw that and Arsenal my Staunch. I feel like that's definitely the most efficient play that I could make here. If my turn is ever lackluster, I can always just block efficiently and then just play the Warmonger's Diplomacy for my hand. Warmonger's Diplomacy is kind of just like, hey, and buys us a turn. So this screams Rain Razors here. So we're just going to go ahead and give 6 here. We'll give 6. Again, that's fine. They've already used their Death Dealer, so like if they don't have a Codex or something, their turn's just kind of over. Okay, so they do have a Codex here. Is that all 3 Codexes? That is all 3 Codexes. So this is going to be for 7. 9? How is this for 9? I really don't know how this is for 9. Oh, they're Rain Razors. They're Rain Razors. Ignore me. Ignore me. So we have 2 options here. Our options are give Stillbraid Buckler and then Staunch, pitching Cranial Crush, play Warmonger's Diplomacy, pass. The other option we have is to pitch both of our cards to play Staunch Response, keep all of our equipment. I mean, I guess I could also just take 2. It doesn't matter. Like, this does not have an aim counter on it, so it doesn't matter if it hits us. I can just take 2 and go to 19, I suppose. And just play my Warmonger's Diplomacy anyway. I think that's fine. Like, I think I can live with taking 2 here. Like, they're gonna get a Ponder, so like using Diplomacy to shut their turn down is just very good for us. God, this card is so good in this matchup. Like, in this matchup, against Azalea and against, like, you know, Viserai. Insane. This hand's not that great. This hand does allow us to, I guess, my opponent's just going to pass. Alrighty. Had to refresh a lot. Talishar, oh god. I was like, Talishar really seems to be struggling right now. Come on. Dude. Oh my gosh. Talishar is like on another level tonight of like crapping itself. This is bad. Talishar, this is rough tonight. Okay. I'm just trying to play Warmark. We've already played this turn. I undid and it like completely like backed up for us for some reason. Now our opponent's going to pass here because they don't have an attack arsenal. We're going to try to throw the Command and Conquer. I'm going to pitch Fighting Spirit here because it's better to pitch Fighting Spirit and keep Rouse. I can potentially, they're both 2 blocks, which sucks, but I can potentially play my Rouse. Not with this hand, I'm not, but hey, Wilbur, what's up, man? My day's been pretty good, man. I was like, worked a little bit earlier and excited to be playing a little bit cards tonight. How's your day going, brother? You having a pretty good day so far? Rut-row. We haven't played a single Fate or Sync. Oh, no, we played 1 Sync and we played 1 Staunch. Is this 11 with its text? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's been great. Good, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're having a great day, buddy. Let's just go ahead and block 11 here. There's no reason to take an inertia token if we don't have to. Let's go ahead and put our Fate Foreseen on the bottom. I mean, drawing another Fate Foreseen is fine, actually. Dude. It's either Talishar or Mining Carly's internet is just, like, bad. And I don't think it's us because, like, the stream's green. Everything looks good on my end. Like, am I lagging at all coming through the stream? Like, are you guys seeing, like, like lag on my end coming through the stream? Like, if you're watching on YouTube or Kick, wherever you're watching. I don't want to click OK too many times because when I click OK too many times, it's like Talishar like skips through things because it's like trying to catch up, and I'm trying not to let that happen right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a surge. Not seeing lag here, but I'm multitasking, lol. I've been there, Billy. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you checking for me. I was like, I don't feel like it's me. Like, I don't think it's me lagging, so our opponent takes 2 and goes to 2 from 4. We're going to arsenal another defense reaction. And then if we ever have a turn where we can dominate something, we're looking pretty good. Like, this is looking like a pretty good turn. We're going to pitch our Sink Below to make another surge. So I meant to go pitch Sink Below to activate Tectonic Plating to make a surge, but we're just going to activate Bravo, then make a surge, and then play our Spinal Crush. It's all the same either way. We're coming in for 9 Dominate here. This is a very weird deck from our opponent. They're playing Fate Foreseens and Sink Belows and Sigil of Solace. Like, I don't really know what their game plan is here. Like, I just don't understand what they're doing. Makes no sense to me. Probably just gonna take whatever they do here because this turn's really good. Or maybe not. I mean, I can block 3, 6, 7, and then play my Fate Foreseen and opt 1 here. Well, I guess we're just churning through our deck, so it's just kind of like playing Oldham. You're just putting all your blues on the bottom. This technically demands a card in some fashion, even if it's cross wrap and tunic. I was like, they still go to 1 to keep their hand. This is pure desperation for my opponent. I understand that like they're making the best play they can here. Like they're making they're trying to make the best play with what they got right now. Like our opponent just has a lot of 2 blocks and they're just getting caught in very awkward situations. This hand's great because I can block with a blue choke slam and then just dominate a red choke slam. Yeah, we'll take 4 here. And if this is just 5 off, like if they don't have a pump in their hand here or anything, then we're just looking at, yeah, we're just going to block 5 and then we're going to dominate our choke slam. Like nothing else to it. If they have a Rain Razors here, they're gonna play to push through 2 points and the on hit effect of red in the ledger. Then like I'm kind of okay with that. Doesn't really seem backbreaking to me. So we get to make a surge, activate Borvo, and then choke slam. So this is for a dominate. If they don't have a defense reaction in their arsenal, they're dead. All right, so they were just dead there. All right, good game, opponent. That's a pretty good win for us. Like, I mean, it's a pretty favored matchup for us. So I mean, it always feels good to win. To take the wins that we get there. So while Talashar's kind of lagging here, I'm going to take like a 2-minute break and use the bathroom because I need to use the bathroom. I'm going to fill my water up. So I'm going to do all that and I'll be back in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. Okay, couple minute break and we're back. Let's do this. Filled up my water. I'm hoping Talishar will be a little bit less laggy now. So we're gonna try to. Oh, we're gonna try to get in there, make something happen. I don't know. Like, man, they're just like the more I oh, excuse me. Man, like the more I play, I don't know. Like the more I play Bravo, the more I'm thinking that's going to be my ProQuest deck. Like, I really like Fi, but man, I just really like Bravo. Like, I just really like the Guardian gameplay. But yeah, I got your stream up as I'm trying to make my grind to Masters. Lol. Oh, is it already? Oh, that's right. The season just ended, so you're back on that grind, huh? How long are the seasons in that? I meant to ask you that the other night, and I completely forgot. Against Iyslander? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what the correct decision is here. Like, let's treat this like we did our last matchup, or like let's treat this like we do other matchups. Like let's just go second and try to get the tempo here. We have all of our blues in that we can. I'm not gonna add any of the defense reactions here. I don't think they're necessary. But I am going to. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in and just try to get our opponent here. We'll just try to bonk him here. I do have access to AB3, which is like pretty good. Like, I really like AB3 actually in the Bravo deck. It still gives us tech plating to block with in certain situations, so pitch Ice Bolt and Cold Snap, huh? Red Ice Bolt. Intertesting. It's intertesting to say the least. Let's go ahead and activate tech plating. Activate Bravo. And then let's throw Choke Slam for 8 after making a surge. At one point, somebody had made a suggestion while I was streaming Bravo that I actually run Crater Fist and run Null Rune, like chest, whatever that is. I can't remember what it's called. I thought that was an interesting thing to like kind of talk about. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pay 1. I'm gonna pitch the Spinal Crush here to pay 1. Yeah, most of the time, roughly 4 to 6 months, which has a set, then a mid set. Now there's only going to be 1 set, so probably the same time frame for each new set. Oh, interesting. Okay. So us making the decision to not make a new surge was actually very beneficial for us because it allowed us to still throw our hammer after this. Okay, Fate Foreseen means we're taking any version of Ice Vein off the table, which is kind of nice. You like to see that. We've taken nothing so far, and our opponent's taking 7, which is a very good exchange for us. I actually think this is a correct time to just take 4. And then we're just going to throw Crippling Crush here and just have 2 floating. If I had a surge there that I could have like I would have probably actually considered activating Bravo had I had a surge to pay for the 1 Frostbite that they could have given me. But I didn't, so I'm not going to. I'm going to play it safe, and I'm just going to throw my Crippling Crush. And I'm going to leave up some resources for Arcane Barrier here. Another defense reaction, I assume. Hey, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Our opponent takes 2 and goes to 27, and they don't have a turn cycle, basically. Like they did last turn, but they're not going to this turn. Again, we're in the same situation where we don't have a surge, so I'm just going to throw the 10 power attack here, keep my resources up so that I can continue to play, that I can continue to like keep some Arcane Barrier going, in case they do decide to Waning Moon me here. So they're basically blocking 6, so they're going to go to 23, which again is fine. We're putting a lot of pressure on our opponent. Now they are doing a lot of setup here, which can be terrifying. This is 8, or this is 8 dominate, and we get to keep 2 resources up. So I don't know. Like this seems like a fine turn. I need to see our game in video format soon. Oh man, dude, that was one of the funniest games I've ever played ever, Nathaniel. Dude, that was a contest, to say the least. This is actually a pretty weird hand. So I think I'm just gonna take 5 here and go to 31. And then I'm going to play Zealous Belting, but I'm going to pitch Command and Conquer first so that I actually have the capability to have Go Again here off of my Zealous Belting. Our opponent has set up 2 Insidious Chills and 2 Frost Hexes very quickly. Very quickly. It's very terrifying, honestly. It means that we're going to have to play a lot of offense here to like really make our opponent sweat it out. They're going to use Tunic to pay for Ironhide Gauntlet here, which is a smart play. I don't know. So let's see here. I can pay 2 to make a Surge. And then come in with Hammer, but I'm forced to take Waning Moon if I make a Surge. So they get to Waning Moon me if I make a Surge here, basically. Now, my opponent doesn't know that until I swing the Hammer, but it's pretty clear that I'm gonna swing the Hammer at this point. Like I've taken the time to actually here to like to pitch a 6 so that I had Go Again, and I wanted Go Again for a reason. So this is we're getting ahead pretty quickly here. Our opponent's done a lot of setup, but we're getting ahead quickly, which is actually very nice. I'm also really curious to know how good Bravo's new leg pieces are going to be. Is there anybody in the chat who's been testing that yet? I have yet to have a chance to test that, so I don't really know what it feels like, but... Oh, Nathaniel, I meant to ask you, buddy, how are you feeling? Are you feeling better, man? I know that you said you weren't feeling well. Like, I know you sounded a little rough the other night, and you said you weren't feeling too hot, but you figured you'd play some games because what else were you doing? You feeling better now? Okay, so our opponent actually decides to block here with a card. At least it looks like they're going to. I assume that they're going to, considering they have shown me the Ether Ice Vein, which means they're probably just going to Coronet Peek me and then pass. Arsenal a card. Like, my opponent can't just say no blocks all game. Like, we've taken 9 and they've taken 21. What card blows me out here if I go for Bravo? Channel Lake, which is not that good against me. Let's activate it. Let's make a Surge and see what they do. Okay, so all right, interesting. Feeling better, thankfully, since I'm working this weekend. Oh, well, good, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. I mean, like, I don't want work to be like this single reason you're feeling better, but but I'm glad you're feeling better, man. Taking 4 here, go to 11. Okay, we're gonna go Choke Slam, Unmovable, Showtime. This is a take 8 kind of turn if I've ever seen one. So even through one Frostbite here, we have the capability to play the Pummel, which is kind of sweet. And we're at such a high enough life total that our opponent just can't kill us. Like, it's just not possible for our opponent to kill us here. I just don't really think that's even on the table. Now, the Sink Below will prevent us from killing them. Fate and Sink is pretty good here. And, like, again, we can't kill them because of their defense reactions, but we do get to take a card out of their hand, which is kind of cool. And they no longer have Coronet Peak. With all three blues, I think I can with all four blues, I think I can pretty safely play the Terra Sunder here. I was going whether I felt better or not. I mean, I have been there. Like, it is sad that that's the working world that we live in, but I've been there where it's like, just, you got to do it. Like, you got to go to work. It sucks, but I've been there. Now, playing Terra Sunder is like a very big opening for our opponent to have like a big blowout swing turn. Like, we are in control of this game. Like, we are 100% in control of this game right now. But our opponent, like playing the Terra Sunder, like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong for us. Channel like Frigid doesn't really matter that much because we have because we had a fourth blue. But like, there were just a lot of things that could go wrong. Yes, I'm sure I want to skip my arsenal. Thank you, though, game. I guess let's just pitch all of our cards here. There's no reason to hang on to anything. If I hang on to something, I'm giving them the opportunity to take cards out of my hand with the Insidious Chills here. They're in a pretty tough spot. Like, this is like gone downhill for them very quickly. I'm in a very comfortable position right now. Like, we're just going to keep throwing whatever we draw at them. Our opponent did have a lot of setup early, but they also didn't really have many turns where they were pressuring us. And I feel like I also have a lot of experience in this matchup. One, because I've played a ton of Iyslander. Like, I've played a lot of Iyslander. So I really understand how Iyslander attacks you as a Bravo player. Wow, this hand's tough. But, like, I also... Like, I understand how Iyslander attacks you as a Bravo player, but I also I just also really understand Bravo as well. So, like, it kind of gives me like pretty decent leg in this matchup. At least when you're playing on Talishar and stuff like that. When you're playing online, like, you get a leg up against a lot of people. Just by having like a very good understanding of both your decks. But like when you're playing at like Nats or a ProQuest or something like that, people are better and like they understand things a lot better. So let's see here. I'm gonna mark down my win really quick in my ProQuest testing notes. Like, that game was pretty bad. And then my opponent wants to quick rematch me here. I'm kind of surprised. Some people want to rematch, some people don't. So I'm not upset about rematching my opponent here. Okay. And then they want to deal 5 to me here. I mean, that's fine. Like, I'm just going to pitch stack and set up a decent hand here. Keep the Zealous Belting in my hand in hopes that I can try to make a Zealous Belting turn work out here. I'm gonna Arsenal the Pummel and save it for a better turn. I mean, like, I could just try to get him here if I wanted to, and like just kind of like go for the Pummel here and just get a card out of their hand. But I think throwing an 11-point turn at our opponent is pretty fine. They've played 2 defense reactions so far. So, I don't know. It's like... I know that like a lot of the Icelanders have been on like a heavier version of... They've been on a heavier version of like defense reactions lately. Like I know that Lucas Oswald was playing like a pretty defense reaction heavy list. In I'm pummeling this, brother. Like I think Lucas Oswald, like at nationals at US nationals, was playing 3 sinks and he was playing two fates in his list. So I mean, like pretty heavy list. Yeah, we'll just pitch the Crippling Crush here. No, it's not what I wanted. I'm just going to throw the Choke Slam for 8 here, and then I'm just going to leave 2 resources up. All right, I don't really know. Feel like feeling a little salt coming through the chat there. Yeah, feeling a little salt coming through the chat there, buddy. Getting a little angry that you're losing to a good matchup for you, huh? I wouldn't say I'm on autopilot, but okay. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know what to say back to this guy. So like, I can't tell if he's like being a salty little girl or not. Like, I can't really tell what's going on. So we're just gonna pay 3, and then yeah, I'm gonna pay 2. I'm gonna pay the Command and Conquer, and I'm gonna pay the Zealous Belting. Had a pretty awkward hand there. And then on our turn, I'm just gonna pass. And I'm just gonna arsenal my Zealous Belting. Like, ooh, another triple red hand. So let's give this and Command and Conquer here. We'll take 4, go to 27. We're now at a point where our opponent has lost 19 points and we've lost 13. So again, we're ahead in that that like race where we're trying to like keep in front of our opponent here. I was like, I thought I clicked. Okay. There we go. Okay. Talashar's lagging a little bit here. All right, we're gonna get a little refresh going here. Talishar seems to be having a little bit of a stroke. Don't really know why or what's going on there. Part of me is wondering if I should have taken a screenshot, like snipping tooled my my opponent's little like little upset fender bender there. Don't really know why my opponent's upset. I'm just kind of like playing my hands as they come in. Like I don't know. Like if they are salty, like I don't really feel like I've BM'd them or anything. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. You might be on autopilot, but he's trying to fly a plane with a driver's. Oh my gosh, Nathaniel pulling no punches. Pulling absolutely no punches. You love to see it. Let's just throw 10 at our opponent here. Oh, man. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. Give me that tunic, big boy. I didn't think so. You're going to give me that Ironhide Gauntlet, aren't you? No, you're not? Okay. Oh, he has a respite here. He has a respite or he has a Sigil of Permafrost here. Okay, or we're using Tunic for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I guess he just wanted to block with every card. I mean, I guess it's better than like keeping some of those cards and them doing nothing. Can I put cards in the bottom of my deck, Talishar? Obviously, I can't. Dude, Talishar is, like, really on the struggle bus tonight. Like... And I do mean... Actually, I guess I should just activate Bravo here. Instead of activating Surge. I'm gonna wait for it to pop, like... Dude, there is so much lag. So, I'm gonna undo my activation of tech plating here. Dude. Like, are there just like 1,000 people trying to play Talishar right now? Like, what's happening? Like, what honestly, what needs to happen is like LSS needs to like buy Talishar or like something here, because like there is so much lag all the time. Like this is becoming a more regular thing. Like, if LSS would just buy Talishar instead of just continuing to like play these weird games, like, or if they would just hire the people that run Talishar to do it permanently, it would be in such a better place. Like, Talishar is a great client and it's great for Flesh and Blood. Like, and I don't care if you're if you think that Flesh and Blood should only be played in person. Like, then in my opinion, like, you're living in 1950. Like, you think women shouldn't be allowed to vote, like, stupid stuff like that. Like, it makes no sense. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like somebody would have to have a pretty compelling argument for me to say, yeah, I think that people, like, should only play games in person. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So, like, I have a pretty strong opinion about that, and I'm sure most of that is due to the fact that I stream and that I'm able to like connect with the community on a very personal level and provide something that people can watch because of Talishar. But James White has ultimately said multiple times that he thinks Flesh and Blood should only be played in person. I love playing games in person, but I'm also an adult with a job and a fiance, and like I have a life and things that I need to do. Like, Kyle knows I'm streaming and he's calling me. I'm obviously not going to answer the phone. Choose if you want to pay 2 to avoid discarding. No. So I'm going to discard my Command and Conquer here. And like, again, none of this is like a shot at James White. James White is a great guy. And like he's done so much for the Flesh and Blood community. Like, it makes me very happy. But like, it's also like tough to like listen to people, like to hear people say that the game should only be played in person, because it's like, it's just not feasible. Like, it's just not a reasonable thing to want to put on people, in my opinion. So, I mean, I guess I need to be careful about activating that. Let's make a Surge. We'll leave 2 floating, and then we'll be able to like pitch our cards to throw Cranial Crush here, leaving 2 resources floating. I may not believe that women should vote, but at least I believe in Talishar and jokes. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nathaniel, that's freaking awesome, dude. You're so funny. God almighty. That's awesome. Oh, it's hilarious. Oh man. Did you kill me? Oh, all right. It's a pretty good hand. Getting a little fiber action going here, huh? Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna live on the edge. I'm gonna pay 3 and stop this, and then I'm gonna see how my opponent reacts to my Surge going off. They do not take their opportunity to stop my turn here, to like kind of like stunt my turn, and they choose to just like see like what's gonna happen, I guess. So I'm just going to throw my 10 piece at them here. We blocked 3 on their turn and then threw 10. So our turn was a 13-point turn, essentially, which is not bad. That's not too shabby of a way to spend a turn cycle. Ooh. Yeah, let's go ahead and pay 1. So blue Winter's Bite, Energy Potion, Arsenal, your last card. Let's throw Chokeslam here and just have 2 resources floating. All right, so my opponent's essentially just going to take 2 here on the turn cycle. So my opponent goes to 6 when it's all said and done with. Like, my opponent's taking their turns to set up here, and, like, I understand, like, they should be. It's ultimately the best thing for them to do is to, like, set up these Frost Hexes and these Insidious Chills, but they're not utilizing them. Like, last game, my opponent had 2 Frost Hexes and 2 Insidious Chills in play, and my opponent literally never took a counter off the Insidious Chills. They waited too long to, like, try and turn the tables here. And, like, I don't know that that's going to be the case this game. I could still lose this game. But my opponent took too long to try and turn the tables on me last game. And so, like, it's just, it's only effective if you make it effective. The setup pieces are there for a reason, but they're only good if you make them good. I assume he has another defense reaction here to cover all 11. Okay, so he covers 10 by using his Tunic resource, which is a pretty good idea. Like, he only takes 1 here. Now, the joy of this for me is that it took 3 of his cards to cover up my card here, which is awesome for me. I think we're just going to throw the Buckling Blow here. Chokeslam has no relevant text. If my opponent plays something and makes us discard our Pummel, we will. But if they don't, we're going to get them. We're going to get them good. Get them good. I did list my next game. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure I got it in there. As I've talked about in the past, I like to keep a log of all my games I'm playing, and like all the things that I'm like testing and like, you know, like working towards. Like, I'm always 1 turn away from death. Yeah, dude, I'm at 25, and I have all the tempo. I'm not 1 turn away from anything. Like, I understand what he's saying because he can deal 25 damage to me, but he can't deal 25 damage to me. I guess if my opponent thinks I'm not... I mean, I'm not really scared to play into my opponent, honestly, but... Alright, let's go. We gotta update the record. 4-0. I did not update it after last game. I do like that my opponent's, like, trying to use, like, you know, like, childish psychology to, like, bait me into playing another game with them. But, thankfully, I stopped being a child yesterday, so joke's on him. Like, it's definitely not a favored matchup for me. Like my opponent, like, it's not favored for me. Like Bravo is not favored into Iyslander at all. And if you've played enough Bravo or Iyslander, like, I feel like you've come to that conclusion, or you're not a great Iyslander, no offense, or you're a Bravo that's playing into a not great Iyslander, and so you think it's favored. Ew, I don't like this at all. This is so bad. I guess we're going to go second. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's correct to go second into the Wizards or not, but that's what we're going to be doing. This is, like, way more of a race. When locals think it was a close game. Dude, it's so accurate. It's so accurate. It's like, yeah, dude, it was a close game. I was at 6, and I didn't use any of my equipment. It was a close game. Like, oh, my opponent left? All right. It's kind of... I don't know what Kano player loads into Bravo and is like, oh no, you know what I mean? Like it's that's another good matchup for them. Like Bravo does not do well. Oh, I guess this guy's getting his rematch after all, right? If like part of me kind of wants to leave to be petty, but it doesn't seem very cash money of me. So we'll play this one out and see what happens here. Same as above. All right, so oh man. I mean, like my opponent can like honestly, so like this guy, like my opponent can tell me that like I'm on autopilot all he wants, in my opinion. Like it doesn't really bother me. Because I know I'm not on autopilot. Like I know that I'm making very balanced decisions and I'm playing the game in a way that makes sense. Ooh, God, this is terrible. Let's throw Command and Conquer. I could have pitched all of my cards to throw Spinal Crush at my opponent, but I think it's better to keep a card to Arsenal here. And I think it's better to keep a card to Arsenal here. I just think it's better to have an Arsenal. This is an interesting hand. So I'm gonna Arsenal my Rouse here, because Rouse is a very good card and Rouse has a lot of value. So I'm definitely gonna be arsenaling my Rouse here just because I like Rouse just has a lot of explosive potential here. I could get punished for this by arsenaling my Rouse. It's not guaranteed that I get to have value off of it. Do you want to pay one? Yeah, let's pay with our Starstruck here. We'll start pitch stacking a little bit. We'll pitch our Terra Sunder to reveal 2 cards to come in for 7 go again. And then I can throw my Chokeslam if my opponent does not give me a Frostbite. So I get to have a 13-point turn. And one card actually has relevant on-hit text. If they have an E-Strike in their hand, or if they are holding a Wounded Bull. So not completely terrible to just start putting our opponent on the back foot here. Our opponent's playing a lot cleaner this game. We've only dealt 5 points of damage to them so far. So what cards give us more than 1 Frostbite here? I guess something that they confuse us with. Pitch our Command and Conquer here. I like pitching the Command and Conquer. Maybe I'm supposed to pitch the Unmovable, honestly. Maybe that was incorrect. Maybe I'm supposed to pitch the Unmovable. Okay, they play Energy Potion, which means I could have went for the Terra Sunder play, but it was smart that I didn't, in my opinion. I think it was a good decision to not go for it. 1 Frostbite would have been a blowout there. 1 Frostbite. That's all it took, was any one single card to put me in a bad place where my turn just kind of did nothing. I think it's only Bullander that's favored, honestly. Okay, so maybe the All Arcane version. Maybe the All Arcane version is better into the All Arcane version is better into Lexi and worse into Bravo. I could see that. I could actually see that being a thing because the Bullander, the Bullander idea is the attacks get you better. They give you more favored points because you're playing a better value game than Bravo does, which we learned is actually a very possible thing to do from Fatigue Briar. So our opponent essentially takes 1 there. I'm going to Arsenal the Chokeslam because it's a pretty good card to have. Our opponent sets up a Frost Hex and passes here. We're going to play Rouse. Having all of my Go Again attacks is very solid. We're also seeing a very balanced number of blues tonight, which is like really sweet and something you really like to see. Like seeing balanced blues come in and out in your hands is like where you want to be. Like we had a couple of hands last game where I had like, where I think I had like 3 reds, like one hand last game. And, you know, playing 39 blues, you don't want that to happen. But I mean, it does. Like it's an inevitable part of the game. It's a card game. You're like, there's variance involved. I have said since I played Magic years ago that if I wanted a game that did not have variance, I would just simply play I'd play chess. I've said that for a while now. And I still think that's true. Yeah, I'm definitely going to pay here. This does not bother me at all. My opponent, okay, now they're going to Waning Moon us. So now we're kind of forced with a little bit of a decision point here. We can AB1, throw the hammer. So block 1, throw 6. Or we can block none, throw 8. That is that's higher in points turn. So let's go to 36 here. Our opponent's already taking 5 and going to 28. And then we're going to be able to throw the Chokeslam at our opponent for 8 points, and we get rid of the Frostbite. So I guess it's either way, it was going to be 1 additional point because we were getting rid of the Frostbite for the Frost Hex damage. So, oh no, I'm in danger. Let's discard this. Let's pay 3, and then let's pay 2. So we take as little damage as possible this turn to be able to like try and set up a little bit here, and then we're going to pass. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have something too punishing, and we can kind of get back on track with our Zealous Belting turn. Now, there's no guarantee our opponent could have like, you know, E-Strike Go Again into you know, what's the... Wounded Bull into like Wounded Bull. Like there are a few things that my opponent could do here that could like really put us on the back foot quickly. I wouldn't really consider this one of them, to be honest. So they're gonna Waning Moon us after this. So Ether Hell's revealed. They deal X arcane damage where X is 5 plus the number of Frostbites, Ice Afflictions, and frozen cards they control. So, yes, we'll pay 2 here. And then I'll pay 1, go to 33. And then we're going to take 6. So now our opponent has closed the life total gap here a little bit, which is a very good thing for them. But we have a pretty sweet turn here. And they only have 1 counter left on the Insidious Chill, which means if they want to use their last counter to like kind of like stunt our turn here a little bit, they can. And then we're just going to come in with Hammer. I mean, again, we're setting up an 11-point turn here, and then we're going to Arsenal our Zealous Belting. Like, we're now back in that spot where, like, we're leading the life race. I can't speak. Good Lord, I'm, like, having a stroke. So, this is kind of cool. If they don't give us a Frostbite here, we can actually just throw the Starstruck at them, too. Which is really sweet. Oh, they're going for it. Okay, so they're going to try and set up and try to kill us here. And they fused with a Frost Hex. Yeah, let's pay. That's fine. I really thought they were gonna like try and like do some scary stuff there. I don't know, that was not nearly as frightening as I thought it was gonna be. So they go to 14 and then they're protecting against 4 points from our Anothos there. This costs 7 and we have access to 5 resources, so let's make a surge, which is exactly what we should do in this situation. Like we, even if our opponent gives us multiple frostbites here or like plays a channel, we can still pitch the Starstruck to come in with the hammer here. So we're setting ourselves up in a pretty good spot here. We have a 16-point life lead, and our opponent does not have that many cards. Now, this is a tough hand. This is not what you want to see. Like, let's just cover this up here. Like, we have all reds. We should just block and stay at 27. We'll come in for 8. With 2 Frost Hexes, I don't think our opponent can kill us here. Like, I just don't think 27 is possible. It could be. I could be wrong. Even if I lose, I'm still going to GG my opponent here. I was like, they were very toxic last game, but you know, that's fine. Like some people are just toxic that way. So let's just go to 22 here. Take our bigger turn. I think it's fine. So we'll come in for 10. Now, we are in a situation where we only have AB1, so like the shields are down a little bit here. Now, our opponent doesn't know that. We could be baiting them into thinking that we have a blue. They're on Raging Onslaught. The only attack I haven't seen from our opponent here has been E-Strike. I mean, they could have E-Strike. I don't know. So we're going to Arsenal our Pummel here, and we're going to set up quite a bit. I keep going blues and then reds. We're going to pay 1. Yep, we sure are. I wish we were able to play the Crippling Crush here. That would be pretty sweet. But what we're actually going to do is I'm going to come in with the hammer for 4, and then I'm going to pummel it. We'll have 1 resource floating, depending on if they give us a frostbite or like kind of how they decide to do things here, which is fine. I'd rather have 1 resource to be able to AB something if they go for something, or all right, so this hand's a little awkward. I'd rather have my resource at the end to like AB if I need to. So let's decide how we want to do this. I could just pitch a blue and then come in with the hammer here. I could also just go to 17 and discard if I wanted to. It's a little greedy to just go for it like that. Let's make sure that we're making our best decision here. So, if we can AB 1, go to 18, and then pay, or we could AB 2. If we AB 2, we'll go to 19, and then we'll go to 17 because they'll Waning Moon us, and then we're going to pitch 2 cards to come in with hammer for 6. And this is kind of how we fall out of favor in this matchup. Now, the other option is we go to 17, then we go to 15, and we don't pay anything. We don't pay for the cost because they revealed an Arctic Incarceration. We discard the Pummel, and then we throw the Crippling Crush for 11. The problem then is that we're at 15, and if they can give us... So let's see, if we're at 15, 3 Frostbites is 6 damage, and 3 is 9. So they're actually not able to kill us from there. Yep, that's fine. We'll go to 15. We had planned on this. This is kind of the situation we put ourselves in. And now we're just going to go for the Crippling Crush here, because this is something that they have to give us 2 cards on. Like, they might be able to, like, block enough and kill us. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really familiar enough with what the with what this deck looks like right now to say for certain whether that's, like, whether we could do that or not, or whether our opponent could kill us or not from there, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. I think we'll just throw 8. Like, we'll just throw 8 at our opponent here. Keep a blue in our hand and just try to, like, you know, play around things. They probably have another defense reaction, if I had to guess. They don't have any Insidious Chills set up, so it's going to be hard for them to strip all of the cards out of our hand. And we're putting them to a point to where they almost have to consider, like, giving us 2 cards on every attack at this point, even Hammer. So we're putting them in a spot where we're making them think. And, I mean, that is worth something. So they reveal a Cold Snap. I don't know why they reveal a Cold Snap. Okay, so they are going to go for something here. Ah, okay. So we'll block 3. Get what? And then we'll take 3 and go to 10. And then I can't see for the chain, but we're going to lose 4 and go to 6. And now our opponent has no instant speed access without having a card in their arsenal, which means we are now in the driver's seat, which is awesome. Actually, hang on. If I throw Zealous Belting, I'll have 1 resource left, which means I'll have 4, which means I can't throw the Disable, but it does mean I can throw the Buckling Blow. So they have to give us 2 cards here. And then they don't have to give us 2 cards here. They can give us 1 card if they want. Oh, they're all 2 blocks. So they have to give us 2 cards and go to 3? That's pretty good for us. So dominate Spinal Crush and end the game. Like, I can't imagine this doesn't end the game. I'm actually just going to hang out a second. I'm curious to see if they say anything. No, I don't want to rematch you, dude. Like, I don't want to play against you anymore. Like, you keep getting closer, but, like, you want to play against a game against Dash after that? I won't stream snipe. Lol. Bobby, dude, you're all good. Yeah, man, let's play a game. Absolutely. That sounds awesome, dude. Let me let's see here. I'm trying to think if we're in a Discord together. Are we in a Discord together? I honestly, what Discord would we be in together? Let me open up Discord and see which one. See if we're in one. I think we might be in, like, the East Tennessee Fab or whatever. Are you in that one? East Tennessee Fab Locals? Or honestly, Bobby, if you don't want to talk, if you just want to play, like, I can just make a game and just, like, label it Bobby. If you're better with that, like, whatever you'd prefer to do, man. I'm good either way. I don't want to be on chat since I don't have my mic hookup. Dude, no worries. I completely understand. Let me find my Bravo link and I'll make one and I'll just name it you really quick. So there's a little bit of a delay here. So let's see. Bobby boy. All right. I haven't played against Dash too much when I'm playing Bravo. It's definitely not a favored matchup, but it's a fun one nonetheless. I think it's an interesting match that, like, has a lot of, like, nuance to it. I definitely think that you are favored All right, so against Bobby Boy here, we want a Nothos crown. We want all of our usual suspects here. I actually don't want any of my defense reactions. I just want to be playing as much offense as possible here against Bobby. We're really hoping to utilize our Rouses, Zealous Beltings, and our Pummels. It's kind of like Icelander. We just need to put as much pressure on Bobby as we can here before the game starts. Or like at the start of the game, we need to be like applying pressure as soon as we can. Dash, and let's see. I'm going first. I am intrigued that Bobby chose to let me go first. I would be curious to hear his decision point on that. That's something I'll definitely have to ask him about this weekend if I see him. Let's go ahead and make a surge, activate Bravo, and then we'll throw Hammer at Bobby here. CNC is big into dash to clear defense reactions. I agree. I very strongly agree. Command and Conquer is a very important piece of this puzzle. And I could have just sat on the Command and Conquer to like try and like wait out the I could have just sat on the Command and Conquer there to try and wait on a Pummel. But until I can get rid of some of Bobby's equipment, I'm not super interested in... I'm not super interested in trying to make Command and Conquer a priority. Since we know this is Bobby's last attack, we're just going to give Showtime here. I'm going to dominate Spinal Crush and Arsenal my Chokeslam. I could have kept both my blues and went for the Terra Sunder play. I don't think that was the correct line here. You need to block a little bit early game against Dash. Now, it's not hard for Bobby to cover up Spinal Crush. Like, it's just not hard for Dash to cover up Spinal Crush, in my opinion. I was like, yeah, so we did get his equipment, which means he probably hasn't seen a defense reaction. Or if this is what I have referred to as the Bobby special in the past, he's not on defense reactions. Okay, so he just decided to take damage there, which is interesting to me. Okay, so he's just going to go get an item here. I was like, I'm going to ask Bobby if he meant to do that or not. He said he wasn't stream sniping, so it's like, yeah, I assume he meant to go get an item there. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. I was confused. Galvanic Goated. Dude, Galvanic Bender is really good. Like, it's a very good card. I'm intrigued that Bobby got Chamber there over Purifier. Purifier makes all your pistols for 3 as opposed to 2. Maybe Bobby's thinking that he'd rather have... I guess Bobby's on the train of he'd rather have more pistols than he would. Like, so the Chamber... So Chamber and Purifier makes 2 pistols for 3, which is 6. Chamber is 3 pistols for 2, which is also 6. We saw Bobby's on Reinforced Saline, so we know he has defense reactions in his deck. If you're playing Reinforced Saline, you're on Sync and you're on things like that. So we know that Bobby has them. It's just about when will he play them. This is a pretty mid hand, to be honest, so I'm just going to be blocking out Bobby's pistol here. Bobby letting his pistol only be for 2 here instead of 3. I mean, I guess I have 3 blocks I could block with, so I guess it's 6 in one, a half dozen in the other. But it does give me the opportunity to block with my 2 blocks early on in the game, which is important because my 2 blocks are some of the more like the worst cards in my deck. I was gonna say more bad, but that's not a thing. We'll keep the Diplomacy in our hand, or in our deck. The Diplomacy being in our deck is actually super relevant here. So we're gonna make a Surge, and then we're gonna throw Command and Conquer. And since Bobby had the Chambers loaded, actually playing the Warmonger's Diplomacy would not have stopped Bobby from pistoling us here. Okay, so if we'd have hung on one more turn, we could have got there. Pretty interested in taking 2 here to see what Bobby does, honestly. Because, okay, so he doesn't give go again, which means I'm just going to throw Cranial Crush here. I'm going to make a Surge, throw Cranial Crush, arsenal my Pummel here, and try to set up a potential Command and Conquer Pummel, or try to set up a Spinal Pummel, Crippling Pummel, really anything that pairs well with Pummel. We're just going to try and utilize our Pummel is what I'm saying here. Okay, so Bobby uses his Unmovable for value there. We're going to go Macho then that. Hey, this is not a good hand at all. This hand is what I would call very mediocre. I guess we could Crown here. Like, feels pretty good. Bobby's probably not on Command and Conquers. Oh, another red. Woo! Yeah, Bobby's probably not on Command and Conquer if I had to guess. A lot of these Pivot Dash lists are not on Command and Conquer. And I have heard Bobby actively say many times that he does not like Command and Conquer. If I was playing against an opponent, I would also assume they were not on Command and Conquer just because of what I know about this matchup and how Dash plays. I'm also talking about them, like my opponent having potential Command and Conquer because I gave up my Crown of Providence here. Now, I am taking 4 on this turn to be able to throw Zealous Belting and I'm going to throw Zealous Belting here, and then I'm going to throw the Anothos here at Bobby. Now, he doesn't know that, so he's keeping some of his cards in his hand. I'm going to keep the Pummel. I think Pummel is a very good way to get ahead in this matchup and have a decent chance at winning. It just requires a little bit of patience here. Doesn't even consider Bobby an opponent? Okay. Okay. Nobody ever said that. Nathaniel's now putting words into my mouth. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Num, 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 num. This is looking good. It's looking pretty good. We're going to have to take some damage to do it. And we will be telegraphing that we have the Pummel by not activating Bravo here, but if Bobby blocks with every card in his hand, we just physically won't play it, and like we'll just say okay. Bobby's gonna pistol us one more time, putting us to 26 here. I wanted to see how it felt if you were trying to be aggressive slanted. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I get what Bobby's saying. Like, it's like not every Bravo is going to play super aggro into you. Some Bravos are going to try and play like a much more slowy control game, or slow and control-y game, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think is the best decision. I don't think that you can control Pivot Dash. Like, even Oldham couldn't like outgrind Pivot Dash like in most situations. I was like, Bobby played Magic. Bobby played Magic with me. He knows. Oh man, Bobby's so funny. He said it'd be a shame. Oh god, Bobby's hilarious, dude. Oh man, Bobby's so funny. So the one thing that I have to consider here is that 8 and 7 is 15. So if he does have another red unmovable, it's like covering this up, and it doesn't even have to be from Arsenal. It can be from hand either way. He could also have just 2 D reacts and do it that way. Let's see if Bobby puts a card on the bottom. He did put a card on the bottom of the deck, which means he didn't have a blue to use on his turn, or he doesn't have, or he's looking for another defense reaction. So he didn't find his defense reaction, which means Bobby's going to go to 24 and he's going to discard a card. Now he's not going to discard both of his cards. The pummel, like the Sink Below, actually having a lot of value there. But we do get a card out of his hand, which is kind of nice for us. So we don't even have the ability to throw anything other than Command and Conquer here. And the interesting part about this play is that this is like, I've high rolled Bobby enough in our time playing cards together that this could just be me high rolling Bobby and I could have the pummel here. He either has a reinforce a line or he's not respecting it. I don't know which one it is. I'm always curious when people don't respect pummel. Like, it's always an interesting decision to me. Like, sometimes people just have absolutely... So Bobby's just going to come in for 6 here. So block 6, throw 10. Yeah, we can block 6 and throw 10 here. I can keep my life, like my life total lead here. And then I can just use efficient Bravo turns to be able to throw 10 at Bobby, making our turn cycle a 16-point turn cycle. 5 cards and 16 points is like not crazy. It's only 1 point above rate, but Starstruck is a card that does demand cards from opponents' hands, which is kind of nice. And if Bobby does decide to give us 2 cards and like a Galvanic Bender here, it's not a bad decision. He goes to 21 and he gets to save the crush effect. But if Bobby just blocks 6, it's actually like really good for us because the Teklo pistol cannot be activated because of Starstruck's a text. Okay, so he decides to keep... He blocked with 2 red cards and a yellow card, so I'm surprised he decided to keep the red card. One, two, three. I mean, this is a 13-point go again turn. I'm pretty inclined to just like throw 13 at Bobby here because we get to pitch Terra Sunder to Rouse, reveal Crippling and Starstruck, and then come in with a hammer. Yeah, I'll go to 19. I'll take 7. I'll take 7 to throw 13. That's a positive exchange. So we'll take that. Take the value-oriented line. We've also... Bobby's only got 3 points of equipment block left. Now, he has 3 points of equipment block, but his accelerator is worth... In this matchup, generally, it's worth an extra 4 points because he's actually able to get 2 plasma purifiers in play and make his pistol worth 4. So it actually makes his accelerator worth 4 points, which is pretty good. Bobby has a lot of cards that block, and we haven't seen a lot of them. Like, Bobby has only played one unmovable. He has played one sink below, and he pitched a reinforced line. And that's all we've really seen so far. So, like, we're not... I don't know. Like, Bobby's not showing us a lot of damage here. Okay, so Bobby has used his, what I like to call the Bobby special. This is definitely the Bobby special, in my opinion, just because of how he uses his cards. I'm just going to block effectively here, take one. Like, we have Chokeslam Pummel in our hand, which is pretty solid. If worst really comes to worst, man, boosting 2 times in a turn. So if I give Chokeslam here, I take 1, go to 17, and then I'm going to throw Hammer for 6, arsenaling the Pummel. It's not bad. I could also I could have given the unmovable last turn and then given the 5 points there, or I guess given Tech Plating and Crater Fist. Take 1 instead of taking 2 there, and Bobby's going to use his last few resources to pistol me here. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's a good turn. Like, Bobby understands dash, and Bobby understands how to get ahead on the front foot in a positive way using his pivot strategy. The pivot strategy consisting of the fact that he's probably arsenaling a defense reaction there, but he boosted there to put more pressure on me, which I think is a smart play. Like, I personally think that was a smart decision from Bobby. If Bobby doesn't declare no blocks here, I might just throw the pummel at him. Might just try to get a little fancy here and throw the pummel at him. No reason to, though. That's just if he decides to make a certain play. Like, there's nothing here that really stands out to me. It's kind of sad, if I'm being honest. I'm going to say no blocks here. I'm willing to take 2, honestly, if Bobby's turn is pistol me for 2, 3 times, give a Chokeslam and a Debilitate, and then just throw Hammer for 6 again. Like, I'm willing to make that exchange a couple times until I can find a Crippling Crush, a Starstruck, a Spinal Crush. Like, something that's, you know, like, not like, maybe the on-hit effect isn't really what we're looking to, like, really try and, like, utilize. It's the concept of, like, a high enough power attack to be able to, like, really punish Bobby with the pummel that we have. So that's my thought process here. Like, we're never going to run Bobby out of cards. You have to be a lot better Bravo player than I am to get close to running a pivot dash out of cards. Like, I'm just not good enough for that. I won't BS you guys. I won't lie. I'm just not good enough for that. I'm not a good enough Bravo player to run Bobby out of cards. It is something that I've watched people do. I watched Tark Patel run dash out of cards on camera one time. It is something that can be done. It's just not easy to do. Okay, so Bobby... Okay, so his hand must be kind of awkward here. I was like, I assume he's looking for a blue or a higher resource efficiency card. I like this hand because it's go again. And Bobby took a turn off, which is great. So if I throw... Like, let's just have an 11-point turn here. Like, Bobby has given us the tempo. Not that he's given us the tempo, but, like, Bobby's hands have been slow enough to where we've been able to set it up, which has been nice. So Bobby agrees to take 2 here. And then we're just going to throw the hammer. Unfortunately, like, it lined up with, like, 3 reds right there, so we weren't really able to do much. But Bobby can now pistol us 3 times with a single blue, which is terrifying. Bobby's getting equipment here because this hand's very good. This hand is really good. This hand's good enough for me to consider. For me to take 1 and then 3 is 4 and then 3 more is 7. So I'm going to end this turn at 6, basically. Bobby has a defense reaction in his arsenal of some variety. I don't know what it is. But... And if Bobby gets, like, a little too weird here, we can actually just pummel this if we want to. How many Command & Conquers have we played? 2? I think did we pitch 1? I don't know. We played so many games. I've played 5 games tonight, so having a hard time keeping track of what we've actually done. All right. Let's make a Surgeon come in here. Because if we make a Surgeon come in here, it means that we can draw Spinal Crush 2 blues and we can give a card and not die here. And Bobby has to consider, like, Bobby has to give us minimum 1 card. Minimum 1. Maybe more. This has been a really good game. Yeah, this has been a pretty sweet game, honestly. Like, normally I'm long dead to dashes by now, and that's not a shot at Bobby. Bobby's God, I can't believe I'm going to say this where he can come back and prove that I said it. Bobby is one of the better dash players that I know. Like, Bobby is a great dash player. Like, Bobby makes a lot of good decisions, and he's just a very good player. So like losing to Bobby doesn't bother me. Okay, so we're going to 2 here. That was pretty much our last pistol that we could take in order to try and make something happen here. So we have a couple of options here. We can pitch Terra Sunder to reveal these 2 cards and play Rouse and then Hammer. I can also pitch Cranial Crush to play Zealous Belting and potentially pummel it and then still come in with the Hammer, right? I need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 9 resources. Right? Am I looking at this right? I just want to make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 9 resources. So I'm going to have an extra resource here. Like, Bobby drawing his items late as he did, like, kind of hurt him, in my opinion. I also haven't won this game yet, so, I mean, that's worth noting. Let's go ahead and play this, because it's worth the points if he takes it. Okay, so he has the unmovable, which is fine. So Bobby covers this up. Don't tell me I clicked too far. Oh, there's so much lag. No. God, I hate when this happens. Oh my gosh, Talishar is really on one today. Like, I feel like it's got to be Talishar. That or it's something to do with the new internet that we got. Like, we just got some new internet, and, like, I would just be surprised if we were lagging. I would be surprised if I was lagging because of our internet. Because, honestly, like, we got a gig up and down. Or I think, no, we got a gig. I can't remember. Like, we literally have like a gigabyte's worth of internet right now, like powering me to play games. So huh? Okay, Carly said she hasn't lagged at all and she's playing Fortnite. So clearly it's a Talishar thing, which is fine. Like at the end of the day, it's fine. So Bobby can give me one card here, keep a blue, and pistol me twice. This has been a very good game. This has been a very good game. I feel like Bobby has taken damage in the right places and like also like played aggressively in the right places, and like honestly, like I don't know, like I also feel like I'm playing at a better level than I normally do this game. If I remember correctly, then this is the correct thing. Man, look at Bobby's over there pitch stacking. Good lord, Bobby's about to embarrass me. There's what, one pummel left in our deck, and we should be coming up on it in the next 10 cards. Let's hope this is good enough. I think, has Bobby played 2 unmovables? Yeah, Bobby's played 2 unmovables. I really need him not to have a reinforced line here, which he could. And if he does, I'm in deep water here. Yep, that's bad. That's bad. Well played by Bobby. I don't know if he pitch stacked that hand. Yeah, look at Bobby pitch stacking over there. Whew, Bobby's giving me the business right now. Now Bobby's going to get at minimum 2 cards out of my hand. Maybe more. I mean, I guess depending on... I mean, he's going to get 2 cards out of my hand regardless here, I think. Just depends on... Okay. That's pretty good for me. So Bobby's going to give go again here. Bobby's loading the purifier on the next one. I am a little confused by his decision here. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely getting the cards. I honestly think I should have just... Was definitely incorrect of me to block with the Warmonger's Diplomacy. I would have been able to shut his turn down pretty well. Yeah, that was just me not playing very, very smart. Like, that was just me playing poorly, because I could have played the Warmonger's Diplomacy here and really taken value. Now, the good news is that I pitch stacked 2 of them, so I get another moment here. I get another chance here in a minute to try and have that same opportunity. But I have to keep putting pressure on Bobby, because if he's able to keep, like, 4 cards, like, he's probably going to block 6 until he knows he can kill me. Okay, maybe I'm dead here. I don't know. But yeah, so this is definitely going to be the turn where we're going to try and just block everything and just keep the... I'm going to block with Thunderquake first. I'm going to try and keep the Warmonger's Diplomacy here if I can. Keeping the Warmonger's Diplomacy would be sweet. Bobby comes in for 3. Bobby gives go again. And then Bobby's going to come in for 3 one more time with nothing loaded. Considering Bobby has nothing loaded, he's going to have to choose peace and take a turn to either set up an item, or he's just going to have to... or he's going to have to take a turn... he's going to choose peace either way. He can either load all of his items here, or he can set up another item if he has another one. I don't know how many items Bobby's on. It seems like Bobby's kind of converted to the full pivot dash plan. Now, Bobby might be crazy enough to just say he can kill me and just choose war. Like, Bobby may just be boosting out of this one. I mean, I'm at 2. Like, I'm at 2. Bobby could very well, like, have enough boost power in his deck to actually kill me from here. Bobby chose war. God, he's such a madman. Bobby's played 2 Sink Belows, 1 Reinforced Line, and 2 Unmovables, and he chose war. Yep, I'm gonna block 3, Bobby boy. Oh, man. I wonder if Bobby chose war knowing he couldn't actually do enough damage to kill me, but he chose war saying, you know what, I'm just going to keep playing offense and put you on the back foot. Like, I wonder if that was his thought process. So I'm going to block with a blue here, since Bobby's not going to give go again. Oh, okay. Going to use Accelerator here. Pistol me again. All right. I mean, I guess that's fair. War. Get wrecked. Dude, that's exactly what it feels like right now. That is exactly what it feels like right now. Bobby choosing war was like, I don't know, it was super interesting in my opinion. Now the, like, without a second purifier, Bobby, like, I don't know, like, he'd have to, like, have a 0 for 4 or something here to kill me. Like, if he's giving his Teklo Foundry Heart here, in my opinion, he has a hand that's going to kill me. That, or I guess he's playing to, like, other defense reactions, which is also, like, a very viable answer for Bobby. I'm always intrigued when he comes in for 2 like this. He always comes in for 2. And then does the purifier on the next one. I don't know if he's like counting his resources or like what he's doing here. Alright, must be a resource thing. Well, from here, Bobby's giving us a defense reaction the rest of the way, or he's giving us... Bobby's giving us defense reactions, or he's giving us... or he's giving us 2 cards a turn. And even then, there's only 2 defense reactions left in his deck that allow him to give us 1 card. There's a Sink Below and an Unmovable left in his deck. He's played 2 Unmovables and 2 Sink Belows, so there's only 1 of each. Other than that, he will be giving us 2 cards every turn. Even if it's a Reinforced Line, he's still forced to give us 2 cards here, which is good for us. Like, he gets to keep a 3rd card in his hand, which is a little frightening. I'm going to try to keep the, I guess the Cranial Crush here. I don't know, maybe Terra Sunder's the more correct card to keep. I want to, like, keep bigger attacks in my deck so that I can throw them at him if I ever get the opportunity. We're playing this weird game where Bobby's now catching up on cards. And he hasn't boosted enough for me to, like, really, like, be dead yet. But... I think I'm going to block with the Terra Sunder here because there's probably never going to be a turn where I'm going to get to keep my Terra Sunder. Oh, something bad's happening for Carly in there. He's... interesting. I probably would have... I don't know. Probably would have considered playing the Purifier there. Like, take a turn off, play the Purifier, and then... like, take a turn off, play the Purifier, and then, like, really, like, go for the win. Like, I guess he still has it in his deck for later, but... I don't know. Interesting decision. Uh-oh. This is bad. Yeah. And the crazy part's I'm actually just dead here because I have both the unmovables in my hand. Yeah, if I had 2/3 blocks, I'd be able to get out of this. Sad days are sad. I'm gonna unmovable this and then die. Man, we got really close that game. We almost did it. It was a close one. I feel like we actually had a real shot at winning that game. I'm trying to think of where I could have played better. Like, I'm trying to look back on that game and say to myself, like what could I have done in a different way to potentially win the game? I don't know. Like, that's tough because like I feel like I played offense and I played offense when I needed to. I played defense when I needed to. Like, and I know it's an unfavorable matchup for us, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I could have improved that game. I don't know. If there's anything anybody saw, please let me know. It's getting hot in the house. I'm gonna take my pullover off real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. Riptide's interesting. I don't think I've ever really played against Riptide, like with Bravo. Like, maybe we won all our defense reactions. Nah, let's just go get him. Let's just no respect this deck and go get him and see what happens. I don't think that's a correct decision for what it's worth, but I kind of got lucky with timing the instant. I'm not sure what you mean, Bobby. Like, that was a really good game, man, and you played well and like you won. Like, I don't feel like you got like really lucky or anything. Like, I feel like you played well and feel like it panned out for you. No Sigil in your list? No, I'm not on Sigil. I don't know, like Sigil just kind of seemed like I don't know that, like, I was talking about this at the beginning of my stream. I don't know that Sigil's necessary. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be playing Sigil if you think it's a good card. I just personally don't think it's really needed right now. I could be terribly wrong. Like, could be wrong about that. I don't know. Let's get some cards out of their deck here early on. And then let's go blue, blue, red. So we know that we're looking to pitch stack our Crippling Crush that's in our first pitch stack hand. Reinforce the line. I'm trying to think of when... I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to be there to be able to keep a 2-card hand. Oh, you're talking about when you were pitch stacking? Dude, you didn't get lucky. You pitch stacked, and you remembered where it was, man. That was a good play. Like, dude, wasn't luck, Bobby. That was a good play, man. Like, you played well that game, brother, and you got me, man. Like, I have no shame in losing that game. Like, you played well, man. Sigil feels good in about every matchup, you think? I mean, yeah, like, I don't think that Sigil's bad. Like, I don't think that Sigil's bad at all. Like, I don't know. Like, I just really like the way that, like, my list feels. Sigil felt more of like an Oldhim card, I guess, to me. It's kind of like where my head's at, I think, on that. Like, on that level of things. Hey, Spicy Tofu. I like that name. Hope you like the deck, buddy. Appreciate you coming by the stream and hanging out. Like, but Nathaniel, like, Sigil's not a bad card, man. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. Like, I don't know. Like, I have my 60 set up in a very offensive way, and then I have some really solid defense reactions in my deck to allow me to play a value game plan. Like, I feel like Bravo's going to be one of the most, like, value-oriented decks there's going to be in the format with like, I don't know, just with Fatigue Briar being gone and, like, you know, Oldhim LL, like, I just feel like Bravo stands to be in a really good spot. This is cool because they're gonna have to give me, like, at least 2 cards. Their Skull Cap is not turned on because I took some damage. Now, I probably shouldn't have taken as much damage as I did, but because I took damage, it worked out for me, so... Thanks, I'm fairly new to Fab, and I really like Bravo, so happy to see live gameplay. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Well, welcome to Flesh and Blood, man. Dude, I love when people come by the stream and talk about, you know, that they're new to Fab, man. You know, I was new to Flesh and Blood once too, brother, and I've met some really awesome people along the way, who have really been beneficial and, like, really helped me out, and just I've made a lot of friends. Like, Flesh and Blood's an awesome game, dude. So, like, I'm glad you're a part of the community, man. Welcome. Hope you enjoy my Bravo list. I appreciate it. Oh, what's that say? Nah, you can cover up 9. That's fine. I was trying to pitch some cards like that at the bottom, but I definitely didn't keep close tracking. LOL. It was more of a feeling that it would be there instead of knowing for sure. Well, man, listen to your gut more often, brother, because it worked out. Because it showed up when you needed it to. So we're going to go Cranial Crush as our first card. Actually, I'm going to go Thunderquake. So that means that our first pitch stack hand is going to be 3 blues and a Crippling Crush. And now we're going to go Terra Sunder, because it gives us the ability to, putting Terra Sunder in that next hand means that we're going to have a Crippling Crush turn into a Terra Sunder turn. And we're going to try and pitch that to make sure that it lines up that way. So this is Surge and then Zealous Belting. They're really big on the old Pursuit of Knowledge here. Okay, so since this has Go again, we're going to take a damage, and they have no on-hit effects, which is fine. Or, like, we don't have any on-hit effects. So this now means that we've pitch stacked 6 cards so far. This is cards 7 and 8. So our first hand is triple blue and our first hand is triple blue and a Crippling Crush, and then our next hand has a Rouse, Terra Sunder, Cranial Crush, or no, what's the 8? The one that says you can't draw cards. And then the 7 I just pitched. So now we have the option. Our second hand can be Terra Sunder, or our second hand can be a Rouse the Ancients with Go Again turn. So we're kind of setting up some options for ourselves, which is pretty nice. So let's make a Surge. Let's activate Borvo. And then let's throw Crippling Crush with Dominate. Also, I can't wait until Bright Lights, so I'll be playing Dash for the Case tournament. If you play Bravo, then we can have a rematch. Are you talking about the double Case tournament this weekend? I don't know if I'm going to be on Bravo or if I'm going to be on Fi, honestly, this weekend. I also thought about playing Dash just for memes, just because I thought playing Dash this weekend would be fun. When Bright Lights comes out, I'm going to be testing the new heroes. I'm going to be testing Dash. Like, the all mechanologist set is like really appealing to me, as I know you're aware, Bobby, because you're a big mech fan like myself. But I'm going to be testing a lot of things with the new set to see how they really play, and see like what the best option is and how everything's going to look. But yeah, I don't play Dash. All right, Bobby. Now that you said that with so much enthusiasm, I am going to really consider playing Dash this weekend. If I end up playing Dash this weekend, I'll probably be texting you asking like about your list and stuff like that, because I have my like Swapsies list that I have put together, or like my pivot Dash. I think Swapsies is funner personally, but I don't know. I haven't really like tweaked the list or changed it a lot recently, so I might like text you and see what you're playing. Because if we're both on Dash, then I wanna like, you know, be plotting against the rest of the field. Plus, if like I know that Nick Mahalis was asking about like Starstrucks and stuff like that, so if he's playing Bravo or somebody from their group is playing Bravo this weekend, Dash is like, I think Dash is like a favor, and I think like, it's definitely favored in that matchup in my opinion. So these are cards 9, 10, and 11. So like 9, 10, and 11's not really looking to have anything super powerful in it. I mean, I can genuinely say dude, is he about to like pummel me or some nonsense? I haven't seen one yet, but there's no way, right? I mean, he took it all, so like it feels like there's about to be a pummeling coming here. I don't know. It's pretty sus. It's pretty sus. Nah. All right, I'm just going to get 4 here. And I'm going to put my Cranial Crush on the bottom. That'll be a 12th card. So that's a 12th card we put back into our deck. And now we're looking at like throwing Cranial Crush. Oh my god, he is playing Pummel. What is this? Well, that's not happening, so get wrecked. That's number 13. That's what I've been trying tonight. It feels good into Guardian and Icelander. Since I have 25 blues, you just can't keep up with the other aggro decks really good draws. That's fair. I mean, it makes sense. Like you're adding points to other matchups to lose points against like other things. Like, I mean, I like that math be mathing. Man's playing the equivalent of Pubble-lander for Ranger. He 100% is. I am very intrigued by whatever my opponent is up to over there. Seems like some spicy nonsense, personally, but who knows? Pummel and Pursuit of Knowledge. Like, is this like, what is it? Like, is this Alexander? Is Alexander Arafel? Arathel? I don't know. I'm not good at pronouncing names. Alexander's over there trying to get me with the pummels. Joke's on me. He's just been stream sniping me all night, and now he's like, I got him. He's going down. I'm kidding, obviously. I feel like our friends have better things to do than to sit around and try and stream snipe me on a Thursday night. Could be wrong, though. Who knows? This is very 2021, Alexander. Listen, 2021 Flesh and Blood was the Wild Wild West. So that was cards 14 and 15. So we're going to try and put a blue in our next hand. A blue in our next hand will give us the capability to be able to... a blue in our next hand gives us the capability to be able to play our Starstruck we just pitched, which means that'll be 12, and then the third hand was looking pretty mediocre. So we're looking at pitching Our third hand was 12 cards, so our fourth hand is up to 16 cards. So our next card is going to be our 16th card. I'm just going to say no blocks here. Our opponent's on some like really random nonsense, and this feels like a Razor Reflex to me. So I'm just going to say no blocks instead of giving 4 points of equipment here. Because I really want to dominate and pummel my Spinal Crush because I can, and I want to send a message. Not because I think it's like needed here, but I think it's fun. So puts our opponent in an awkward situation here. Our opponent's about to hit us with a Snatch 3 times in a row, I imagine. Because they used their Snapdragons because I didn't block. Ooh, Captain's Call. This is so interesting. This is so interesting. I don't know what's going on. Did they pick Go again? They did pick Go again. Like, am I just supposed to like block 4 here and just debate out the and like get them to like play the Razor? Or are they like trying to bait me and they're gonna like play a Command and Conquer here? Like, this has been all over the place. Also, guys, on a side note, it did just pop up here. Oh, boo. It did just pop up in the chat. The stream is sponsored by the House of Cards. You can check them out on TCG Player. The link's in the chat. They are the official sponsor of my stream. Be sure to check them out for all of your flesh and blood needs. I think Silas also sells Pokemon cards in his store, so if you guys are into Pokemon, hey. I don't really want to give equipment here, so I think it's best to block with Showtime and then just pummel the Spinal Crush here. It says lose his hero abilities, right? Yeah, it's fine. We'll go to 14 and we'll just throw Spinal Crush pummel. They also can't give the they can't give Skull Cap effectively here, which is kind of nice. So, and the 2 is like not super suspecting because, like, I mean, obviously it's always going to represent pummel, but like we couldn't activate our Bravo ability, so you know, there's that. Yeah, Captain's Call and Hornet Sting, blocking 3 with 2 cards. Efficiency. Oh, man. Oh, they gave us a Skull Cap. Oh, it's an E-Strike. Get wrecked, opponent. I guess I probably shouldn't play the pummel there just because they haven't actually played anything. No. Boo. So we actually have to take 3 because of that, which is actually kind of interesting. And then they're going to Boulder Trap. Well, that's fine. They're going to put a counter on the Crater Fist would be the most logical thing to put a counter on. And then they're also going... Okay, so they're just going to give their whole hand to stop this. I mean, that value, though. That's right, Billy. Get them. The value. Value Town is real for our opponent. And they have a Codex of Frailty in their arsenal? Wow, this has been a game. I mean, I am at 10, so like I do have to consider the fact that like they could actually just kill us at some point. What are they gonna pick? They picked E-Strike, so they're not actually doing anything. I mean, considering they picked E-Strike, it just tells me they're not going to do anything, so... we're going to activate Borvo here. And they can only, like, they can only play 1 defense reaction here. I guess they could Trench. They could Trench and then play a defense reaction from hand, load another defense reaction, and then play another defense reaction. Okay, so they could actually get quite a bit of value here out of this. They could. I don't know that they will, but they could. How funny would it be if I lost this game after I was just like, no respect. We're not even going to sideboard for them. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. You're 5-1 record. You're feeling pretty confident. You're just like, yeah, we don't care about your Riptide garbage. And then bang, you're dead. What is this guy on? Fighting Spirits? Dude, this guy is like, I don't know what's up with him. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, I just stopped keeping track of my pitch stack. I pitch stacked the first like 3 hands that I had. If I was like seriously playing and trying, I would be like focusing on what I'm trying to accomplish here. So this is just coming in for 9. I can't take too much damage here. Like, honestly, I can't. So I'm pretty inclined. How many pummels have we seen? We've seen 1 pummel. I'm pretty, like, Trench is going to bail them out here, so I'm pretty inclined to just block 9 and then Arsenal a card. Arsenal my Starstruck, and then know that I have 3 equipment points left that I can use effectively if I want to. And like, I could have just like taken 3 and then thrown 6. So I have a 12-point turn, but I really feel like I'm still playing ineffectively. I'd really like to be able to block with Showtime in my equipment here. I mean, we've seen 1 pummel. Like, there's got to be more than 1, right? Like, I would assume that if you're crazy enough to play Riptide with pummels, you got more than 1 in there. Yeah. I mean, this could not be a pummel. Let's just give 6 here, and if they pummel us, we're gonna go to 4. Okay, so I mean, it's also worth mentioning we could just tear asunder here. I think dominating 10 is better, personally. Like, I like using Bravo's ability anytime I really get an opportunity to do so. We are now out of equipment block, so no. So we should have taken 1. We should have kept the tech plate encounter and taken 1. So we could have turned off Skullcap. That actually would have been a really smart play for me to make. That's just me playing like a dodo. That would have been a really clean play for me to make. God, this freaking card is so annoying. Like, the fact that this card gets to deal 3 to me is just so obnoxious. And there's 1 more left in their deck. I could very potentially die to traps here. What does this even say? I mean, it's not gaining attack. That's fine. So Skullcap's also not blocking because of the Pitfall Trap, so was an ineffective use of that. Okay, so I'm now at 6. My opponent blocks effectively, which is tough. I mean, this deck might just be designed to beat up on me. Dude. God. Of course. Like, I can't just... I have to block this. I have to block this. There's still a pummel left in my deck I haven't seen. I'm pretty sure. So if I block Chokeslam and pummel, I can throw Hammer for 4, Arsenal my Command and Conquer. And then try to have a turn, and then just try to block effectively. You're also seeing the downfall of me not putting in my defense reactions here. Staunch Response and Fate Foreseen and Sink Below would have been so valuable over the course of this game. Like, I feel like we would be slaughtering this matchup had we been doing that. Oh, they just have an old Sink Below here. Carly screamed at something from the other room. Something's happening in there.
Oh my god. I had no idea where they were.
So he didn't actually want to reload anything.
Oh, goodness.
Dude, he's trying to sync his remembrance. Dude, you gotta wait. You gotta click. You gotta have a little bit of patience there, bud. I mean, I get it. It happens to all of us. Like, sometimes you're lagging and, like, you're clicking and, like, I understand. Like, I'm just a little, I don't know, like, it just, Talishar doesn't really seem like it's lagging right now. I guess, like, my opponent could also just be lagging. Like, it doesn't have to just be Talishar that's lagging. My God, it is so hot in this house right now. Jesus. Like, it was so cold 3 hours ago. I was freezing. And now it feels like it's 100 degrees in here. And I have, like, I don't really know why there's not a fine line with temperature. It's like you're either freezing or you're sweating, and I don't understand why. Like, I feel that way about, like, car thermostats. It's weird because it's like 65 is like freezing, like in the car. Like, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so cold. But then, like, but then, like, but then, like, 66 will be like you're sweating. Like, I don't know. Random side quest thoughts there. So we're just gonna give Showtime and Thunderquake here, and then I'm just going to I mean, I could go for it here, I guess. Let's go for Surge, and then let's go for the Command and Conquer here. There's no pummel attached to this, like, very clearly. Like, you can very obviously see that with one card in hand. Like, there's no threat of pummel here. But this will get, like, oh, only one card out of my opponent's hand? Interesting. Curious to know where that thought process came from. They haven't shown us a Razor yet or pitched one, so I'm just gonna pass here. Like, our opponent's on some spice, so if they threw a Razor at us, it wouldn't totally surprise me, if I'm just being honest. Throw this for 8 and then leave myself open to traps. Razor and pummel would be insane. It would be absolutely crazy, but I would not be surprised. I think the correct decision is just to hammer here. Like, maybe I'm playing a little scared now, but I think if we come in with hammer for 5, like, they can go to 1 if they want, but I don't think they will. I do not think they will. Something's happening in there. Okay, so that just says block 3. My opponent's just going to 4 here. Okay. That's a pretty good hand. I mean, if I can stay at, like, you know, 4 or 5 here and, like, keep the pummel or, like, keep the Zealous, I will, but I don't think I'm going to be able to keep that many cards. Like, we're probably looking at me, like, blocking 8 here. It's probably what this is going to look like. If not, I'm just going to be blocking 11. So this is going to be for 10. And they go back to 5. So, I mean, I think giving all 11 points here is fine. I'm forcing them to have another decent hand. I'm just going to pass. We're also making all of their traps ineffective the way we're playing the game, so... Collapsing Trap is an interesting card. So, again, like... I don't know that I can ever play around Pummel here. Like, I don't think there's a world where I can actually play around this Pummel that they might have. Yeah, like I just don't. Like, it very quickly felt like a Pummel, but I just don't know that I can ever play around it. So the Pitfall Trap is not in their hand or in their arsenal, and they've already played 2 Pitfall Traps. So what traps could I actually die to? A lot of them are Go Again or greater base power, so I'm just going to swing the hammer for 4 here. I don't think there's an actual trap that could kill me. And if I do end up losing this game in the next couple of turns, I'm just going to look back on this and laugh and know that I played this game way too loose. Like, I was just playing, like, very, like, loose and, like, wasn't really, like, you know, thinking and playing in the right way. I started out having no respect for this deck, and it put me on the back foot and in a bad way quickly. So Riptide can actually do some pretty cool, powerful things. Like, I'm a firm believer that's why he has 38 life, because he can actually do some pretty fun stuff. They did put a card on the bottom, so my opponent having a 4-card hand could spell disaster for me. Like, our opponent could get us here. Man, if we had tempo, this hand, like, ends the game almost immediately. Like, this hand is so good. I was like, there is absolutely no way my opponent just passed. Yeah, I was like, dude, no way. Like, actually no shot they passed. Oh, they're looking at my deck. Interesting. Okay, so... let's go ahead and give 9 here. Like, we'll just block this out. We'll make a Surge, keeping a card back in our deck. So, I mean, they only have 20 cards left. Like, we're at 1, so, like, we're not in, like, a great spot to, like, be able to, like, not die here. But Fyendal's Fighting Spirit's actually going to help us a little bit, put us a little bit closer to not dying. to not dying to traps randomly, so... So let's block 5. Go to 2 here. They're going to get their action point back because of Lead the Charge. This deck is, like, super interesting. Okay. I mean, an Inertia is, like, fine, honestly. So I think I'm better off blocking with 2 cards and staying at 2 than I am to actually than I am to take 1 and go to 1 and then swing hammer. Like, if I had a choke slam or something, I would really consider just actually throwing the choke slam here, but this is fine. How many fighting spirits do we have left? I think we blocked with one earlier in the game because it was convenient. I can't remember. No, it appears that was a different game. Sorry, all my games are kind of starting to like run together a little bit tonight. Ooh, they're starting their turn off with Trench. We're only up 5 cards, so we do need to start being a little bit careful here. Death Dealer does actually like Death Dealer like draws them cards, so it doesn't like it's not like they're just keeping a whole bunch of cards in the deck with their weapon. We're gonna block 5. And then they're going to come in with Endless Arrow, and we're going to block with both of our cards. Now they're going to play Scout. If you don't throw Hammer for 6, I feel like you can... Like if I throw it for 4, you mean? Because it won't... Because I won't die to the greater base traps. That might actually be an option for me here. We're going to block 6 and take 1. So there's our 1 point of damage that we needed to not take. Entries, though? Entries. What? I'm not sure what you mean by entries. I mean, it's very possible that if I have a turn where I can keep my Warmonger's Diplomacy be looking pretty good. If I'm able to keep my like, there's gonna have to be a turn at some point where my opponent won't have multiple attacks they can throw at me. Oh, E-Strike? Autocorrect gets you every time. E-Strike looking pretty good right there. That's a Macho Grande in our arsenal. And we're going to discard a Debilitate. The fact that we haven't just completely lost the game yet is honestly kind of crazy. How many E-Strikes or how many Endless Arrows is that? It's got to be the third one, right? Okay, yeah, it's the third one. So let's block 6. They're going to pitch 3 reds to activate Quiver. Okay. What we need is for them to have like a weak turn where I can just like throw a Macho Grande at them. We also need them not to have the Tar Pit Trap. We are forever playing around the Tar Pit Trap. Are you able to ask for this list? I would love to just see it. Are you talking about my opponent's list? Like, there's one Tar Pit Trap, or not Tar Pit Trap. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to find it somewhere. Where's it at? I know he's played. I can't remember. It's the one that deals 2 damage to you unless you pay 1. Considering that's in the deck. And I don't know if it works the way... Yeah, I'll ask him if I can get his list after this game. I'll invite him to chat and see if he cares to give it to me. And we'll just ask and see what he says. So we'll come in for Hammer for 4. What is that trap called? I gotta find it. I don't know if it works to where we die regardless because we're a 1. I don't know how. Pitfall Trap. I don't know if it has to be successful or if it has to have active text. I don't know how that works. I mean, so like, so obviously my opponent knows how this works. Okay, so I do die regardless. All right, so I die regardless of the Pitfall Trap. All right. He told me what his Discord was, so let's see if I can add him on Discord. While I'm sitting here, add friend, Airfell. I successfully sent a friend request. All right, cool. So I sent a friend request. So hopefully I can chat with him and try to see if he'll share his list in some capacity. I guess I could have just screenshotted his graveyard and everything right there and sent it to you, Billy. I wasn't thinking about that. All right, putting my notes there that I just had no respect for the Riptide deck at first, and it cost me the game because I played poorly, not really thinking about actually losing to the deck. So that's just me, like playing poorly. We're like 10, or yeah, we're almost to 3 hours. Let's play one more. Let's get one more in. 5-2 on the night though feels pretty good. The deck feels pretty solid to this point. So we can get one more game in. Even if I finish 5-3, that's fine. Like getting 8 games of Bravo in one night that's more games than I thought I'd get in tonight. I really got to a point where like when I would play Oldhim all the time, like I would get so used to just playing, like I would stream for 3 to 4 hours and I would only get 4, maybe 5 games in. It was crazy. It was insane. Like it was crazy, like how little games you could get in that, how little games you got in that amount of time. And now like playing Bravo, which is more active, like more aggro, and then like, you know, playing Fi. I mean, you know, playing Fi the other night, I got in so many freaking games playing Fi. Like the games just go so much quicker. Or is Riptide just broken? I mean, hey, you never know. Riptide could just be insane. Riptide, I mean, I don't think Riptide's bad. Like, I just think that, like, Riptide's not as good as some other things in the format. Like, I just don't think that Riptide can consistently race Lexi. Is probably one of its biggest problems, if I had to guess. Offhand. But I'm honestly not sure. Let's go second against old Rhinar here. Let's bring in all our defense reactions, and we'll take out... I don't think we need pummels, per se. And we can just leave in Zealous and Rouse and try to make, like, good go-again games. And just try to play, like, a... We only played 5 on Tuesday, playing Katsu and Fi. It's a little different. It's a little different. I was playing an aggro deck, and you were playing the 1-for-5 Value Town thing. Did it say Bud's Fresh House? Cool. Playing Ravenous Meat-Axe against me? This is like combo. This is like combo Rhinar. Interesting. Which means we need to arsenal defense reactions here. I know we only played 5 games, but we only played 5 games because you're on that crazy stuff. Will be nice when Lexi LL so many decks pushed out. Yeah, Lexi definitely like keeps a lot of decks pushed out of the metagame for sure. So it will actually be nice when she is pushed out. I agree with you on that one. I guess we're just gonna block Debilitate here. And if they throw the Ravenous Meat Axe at us, we'll block with whatever's left. Having Rouse with our Sink Below means we're just not going to be able to play it, which is fine. Dominate Chokeslam, Arsenal Sink Below. Seems not bad. It's a pretty good turn to start with here. We're setting up a very good defensive card in our arsenal, and we're also playing offense here, so... But yeah, Andy, I honestly, I really agree, man. Lexi keeps a lot of things out of the format. We were actually having this discussion a couple weeks ago at one of my local stores about, is it good for, like... So, like, one of the guys at my local shop was saying that he doesn't like Lexi because she pushes other heroes out of the metagame. And I completely agree with that statement. Lexi pushes other heroes out of the metagame. It's a very factual statement, in my opinion. Like, I don't think you can really argue that. But every other deck that has been good has also pushed decks out of the format. Like, so it's really weird. Like, I don't know, like Starvo kept things out of the format. Prism kept things out of the format. Like Chain, like, you know, like all these decks were just like oppressive enough to keep things out of the format. So like, I don't know, like I have like a pretty like weird opinion about that kind of stuff personally. Don't take my staunch, please. Or I guess take my staunch, actually. I'm looking to keep a blue Command and Conquer and staunch so I can block with my other blue. Block with blue and Sink Below here, and then throw the Command and Conquer. Yeah! No! Okay, so our opponent's taking cards out of our hand left and right, which is fine. This is for 8, so I'm going to go ahead and block. I'm going to keep the Command and Conquer here when I sink. I am going to sink and take 1. And then I assume Ravenous Meat Axe is probably going to be for 7 here, which is going to put quite a bit of pressure on us. But having Staunch Response in my arsenal is going to be very good. Yep, take my last card in my hand. Doesn't matter. Wasn't blocking with it anyway. So we're going to go to 29. I'm going to make a surge, throw Command and Conquer. We're not threatening Pummel here, but this is still like a pretty value-oriented turn. Like, our opponent has already used his Gambler's Glove. Like, Gambler's Gloves. And the only equipment block that they have left is 1 on the Bark Bone Strapping and 1 on the Scab Skin Leathers. I mean, like... Our Chokeslam turn, like, kind of incentivized our opponent, like, with their hand to, like, block with some equipment there, which was nice. So, this hand's not great. So, we have a couple of options here. Like, I'm going to refresh here because I clicked the pass button. No, I clicked the pass button 1 time. What do you... Okay, what is happening here? Okay. Jeez, that is so weird. So I honestly think the best thing to do here is to just pass. We're going to pitch both of our blues to play Staunch Response. We're going to play Staunch Response here, cover this up, get a Quicken token. But there's a lot of lag right now. Like, Kalashar's like been on the struggle bus a little bit tonight, which is fine. Happens, you know, it happens. It's perfectly fine. We're going to pitch Staunch to make or pitch Spinal to make a Surge, and then I'm going to Arsenal the Staunch Response again here. Now, this hand, like, the Quicken token, like, can really have some value for us. They roll a 6 to gain 3 resources. My opponent's rolled a 1, a 5, and a 6. Here we go. God, and they take a blue. Our opponents also played 2 Blood Rush Bellows in 4 turns. Which is like, I mean, very good for our opponent. Okay, so we have blue Spinal Crush. Okay, so this is for 8.
Sorry. They're fighting a lot.
I mean, let's just block 6 and take 2 here. Like, we've taken so much damage so quickly because our opponent has played 2 Blood Rushes so far. This is for 8 go again. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go to 19, I mean. And then my opponent's going to throw Meat Axe for 7 because they... Yeah, I'm going to go to 12. Like, we have a lot of catching up to do here. Our opponent has had very, very good turn cycles so far. And I know that they're, like, on the combo Rhinar deck here. Like, I understand that, but at the same time, like, we haven't really had a hand that we can play. They also... Our opponent also rolled a 6 on the Barkbone strapping. Our opponent has now rolled a 1, a 5, a 6, and a 5. Okay, so they're now rolling very high, literally. Throw Crown, get Bloom, go Boom. I mean, I could have thrown Crown to go get a blue there. I'd really like to use my Starch Response if I can. Whenever you discard a random 6 or more, banish it. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. If it has 6 or more power, draw a card. So this is how they like try to combo kill us here. Okay. Take Rouse, which is fine. So play Staunch.
I thought this one is the one that you threw down.
How does my opponent still have an action point? Oh, they rolled a 5. I could just block 6 here. I'm going to block with Staunch here. I have to, like, try and throw something here at my opponent. Starstruck is, like, not really the card I'm reaching into the bottom of my bag for, hoping to find, but... I think Berserk definitely plays into, like, their combo. The problem with me being at 12 already is that Rhinar can just, like, value town me out of the game with their last Blood Rush. And if they're on some number of Remembrance, they can just, like, try to value town me out of the game. So it's a very easy way for them to, like, put me on the back foot. Okay, Skullcrack for 6. Okay, so this is the end of their turn. I think I'm going to give 4 points of equipment here. I could just give my Starstruck and throw Hammer. Give Starstruck Tech Plating, take 1, go to 11, and then throw Hammer. I think it's better to use equipment here, go to 10, and then throw Starstruck. Again, Starstruck is not the card that, like, you know, ends the game or anything, but it's a 10-point card that they have to give. They have to give me at least 1 card if they have an 8-point attack in their hand. If they want to play multiple things, they have to give us 2 cards here. And then if they do give us 2 cards, they actually can't activate the Ravenous Meat Axe if the Crush hits, which is kind of convenient for us, depending on how their hand lines up and what they're looking at. I mean, this hand's not bad. We're probably looking at blocking with the Fighting Spirit and the Immovable if we can. Okay. I can block 8, go to 11, Arsenal the Unmovable. Blood Rush, Blood Rush. So there's still one more left. I was just making sure I'm not going crazy. Yeah, I mean, let's block 8, go to 11, take our point swing here. Let's Arsenal the Unmovable, and let's try to set up a little bit here. Try to set up to make something happen. Now, being able to pitch Showtime to play Unmovable and block 6 here, and then using Terra Sunder to really try and get a value swing out of this is actually kind of a sweet turn. Now, I should pitch the Fighting Spirit. Like, I'm just looking to pitch the Fighting Spirit here. Like, these are the lackluster turns that I'm used to Reinhardt having. I hate that, like, we're gonna waste this Quicken token, but I think Terra Sunder is a very good line for us. They don't have the equipment to cover it up. Like, we're in a very good spot right here. We're still down 16 points, and there's a lot of room to go. Don't get me wrong here. We're not out of the woods yet, but we're starting to turn it around. Like, our Reinhardt opponent started off the game very hot, has had some good rolls, and they've played to the advantages of the list that they're playing. Now, they had a lackluster turn. Like, we're doing some damage to them here. Like, it's starting to look better. They either have a defense reaction in Arsenal, or they're just going to take 3.
But I better.
Okay, you like to see it. Discard Wild Ride and Bear Fangs. Yeah, so they're just heavy combo. Like, they're just on heavy combo here. They're just gonna pass. So let's go 5 go again, and to hammer off pitching Terra Sunder, and we'll Arsenal the Zealous Belting here. So having a pretty aggressive turn here. We're still down on life, but we have 5 points of equipment we can block with. And we have a pretty decent go again turn set up here. All right, they're going to try and kill us right here. They're going to try and combo us out. And it's our last Blood Rush Bellows, which is really not good for us. If they give us the opportunity, I'm literally just going to block with everything I can here. I'm just going to give the Command and Conquer and the Unmovable by pitching the Showtime. Let's freaking go. You love to see it. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Yes! I don't even know what we're going to do with our turn now. Wow. Wow. I cannot believe that panned out the way it did. What a great sequencing of events for us. For what it's worth, anybody who's watching this that doesn't know me very well, I would never act like this to my opponent in real life. Like, I would feel very sympathetic to their situation, because it sucks to roll a 1 like that when you're winning the game and just kind of have it cost you a lot of points there. But man, when I'm streaming, there's not a person in front of me. I don't have to feel bad about hurting their feelings. Like, that's the value play we were looking for. What, it goes to the bottom? I'm just gonna play Favor Scene and throw Crippling Crush here. Like, we're getting to block effectively. You just stole this, lol? Dude. We are driving it like we stole it right now. 100%. Like, we absolutely stole this game, dude. Like, this is a game we should have lost. And I'm going to put in my notes, should have lost, opponent rolled a 1. So I was talking about a minute ago, in a real scenario, I would be sympathetic to my opponent's situation because we've all been there. It sucks. Like, I'm not a big Reinhardt player, but I get it. Like, it's awful. That's right, Grand Theft Auto, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like it sucks. You know, I've watched it happen. It's happened against me before. It's awful, and I hate to see it happen to people because like it's a very feels bad moment to just lose to the wrong side of variance. You know, but at the same time, I'm a firm believer that my opponent knows what they're playing. You know what I mean? Like, my opponent knows what's going on. Like, they understand what they're doing. This is awful. I mean, I'm about to just go to 7 here. And just try to make something happen, I guess. I don't know. Might be able to win the game here, actually. 5, 6, 7, Arsenal Staunch. I like Arsenaling Staunch here because it's just so good. No way we actually... Wow. Wow. And my opponent even says good game. Like nothing but class from my opponent, even after losing the game in such a terrible way. Like, had the Berserk, had the Blood Rush, they had it. They had me. I was dead and they rolled a 1. And like, just... Wow. You love to see it. Anyway. Alright, so we went 6-2 tonight. Oh, I gotta... Hang on, let me mark that on my spreadsheet here really quick. Make sure I write that down. No, it's not win, it's win. Should have lost. Opponent rolled 1 late and won me the game. All right. So I've got it marked on my spreadsheet there, what happened. So I like to keep track of what happened there. All right. So anyway, 6-2 tonight. Bravo felt really good. Like, Bravo felt really good tonight. We played against the same Icelander 3 times, I think. Like, that was 3 of our 6 wins, and every single time, like, they tried to like taunt me and they tried to get me into playing them more times. Like, I don't know. My opponent just kind of seemed like they were having a bad day. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I can, especially when it comes to cards, because I believe that Flesh and Blood is a great community, and I think that we have some of the best people in the world that play our game, and they're so supportive and so caring. And so, you know, if my opponent's having a bad day, I hope it gets better. You know, like, I don't want my opponent, like, you know, to like get on cards and be frustrated. I've been there. You know, you're just looking to get on cards and have a good time and test a little bit, and then all of a sudden it's just terrible. You know, so I get it. Like, I know what it feels like when it rains, it pours kind of thing. Bravo and Fi are still my 2 number 1 decks for ProQuest season. Like, there's no doubt about that in my head. Those are probably the 2 I'm leaning towards the most. Bobby might have pushed me in a direction tonight that made me think, you know what? I'll play Dash at the Double Case event this weekend, have some fun, have a good time. Plus, I did just get my Dash altered, so it would be worth actually using it so I could, like, you know, use the altar a little bit. So it's probably what I'll end up doing. But we'll see. I don't know. Oh, Lord. All right, I'm out of here for the night, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate everybody being a part of the stream and chilling out with me tonight, keeping me company while I played some Bravo. I won't be back tomorrow, and I'm trying to think. I won't be back tomorrow or Saturday, I don't think. Maybe Saturday. I don't know what's going on Saturday yet. I know in the afternoon we have plans, like around like 5 or so. We have plans, but maybe in the morning, I'm not sure what's going on. And then I won't be back on Sunday because I'm planning a double case event, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hoping to have a good run. I'd like to, win some packs. Carly really likes to open the packs, so it's fun for me to come home with a case and us being able to open cards and do stuff like that. It's a really fun bonding experience for the both of us to be able to do that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will see you guys this weekend, and if not, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, everybody.